Hope ain't always easy to find, and sometimes I wonder if it's forgotten me. But it hasn't. It ain't always in the headlines or on the TV screens or in the faces of success. No, hope waits in the shadows, and it shines brightest in the dark and broken places, in restless pursuit of the lonely and forgotten. In the songs we sing when we can't find the words. Why do we sing? Is it for them? Is it for us? Is it because we're human? Do we sing about what we know or what we don't? Do we sing when we're happy or only when we've come to the end of ourselves, wondering how we could ever move forward? Or maybe both? Maybe we sing because we're wounded. Maybe we sing because hope deserves an anthem. Maybe we sing because the wound is where the light shines through.
The wound is where the light shines through. Welcome to Dare You to Podcast, a Switchfoot fan podcast hosted by two friends of the foot. My name is Zach, here with Chase, and very excited for episode number 4. I wish I had some sort of sound effect. I could probably load that in here somehow. A little air horn sound effect would have been cool for episode.
Ding, ding, ding.
We're making it. We keep pressing on.
I can't take our jobs.
Yeah, for real. The first 3 episodes, thank you so much for listening to those. Very proud of those episodes and just the conversations we had around those and kind of the research that we did into those. And yeah, just really proud of those and excited as we continue to move along. And today is a first on Dare You to Podcast because today we have our very first guest on the podcast. Very excited. There could be no other first guest of this specific podcast. And so we have our friend, third chair of the podcast, maybe, Jared. Jared, you're a man of the people. Why don't you give us a little intro? Who are you? How do you know us? And
Yeah, I'm a man of the people for sure.
all those things.
Yeah. Well, I've known both of you guys for at least a decade now. Zach, I was really trying to think about it when I heard y'all's introduction about. I think you said that you guys met through a Marvel related thing.
Yeah, I don't honestly, in my mind, there is not a starting point without both of you. I'm
Yeah.
sure there was. It started with one of you two, but in
That
my
sounds right.
brain, there is not a. It was ever I met or interacted with Jared before
Yeah.
Chase or vice versa. It always has just been like both.
So I don't know if you guys have exposed yourself.
One thing about Jared, I'll throw this out. Continue. I'm sorry, brother.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say one thing about Jared. I will throw this out as an intro piece for him. Is he is really good at bringing people together. So I would not be shocked to find that Jared originated Zach and I meeting. But that being said, I do kind of feel like I just woke up one day and then we were just all like in a group chat together, and that's the origin story. So
Yes.
Well,
I believe it was centered around Spider-Man Homecoming.
I think that's right. The group chat originally.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's where it originated. Probably when the first trailer dropped, something around there, because I can remember us talking about the trailer in the group chat. So it had been like before the movie came out, but I think maybe coming out of Civil War, which is relevant to the year of which we're living in for this episode. So somewhere around there. Fun fact: Jared and I, Zach, did not have yet to meet in person. This is still true, right? I was going through making sure that was accurate.
Yeah. No, but am I wrong? Were you in Alabama one time.
Yes,
I,
I
I
was
might be
about to
mixing
say
this up.
I was at a Whataburger
Yeah,
in Alabama in 2019, summer 2019, and that is the closest we have ever been to one another.
not just in Alabama, in the town that I was in, right?
Yes. Yep. Yep. Yep.
What the heck?
That is the closest it's come.
Well,
Chase and I have met twice,
Missed it by that much.
right that much.
I think
It's,
I don't know
so
if
yeah.
it's the dark secret that you guys are hiding, but the great connector here is that we all attempted to be Christian rappers. Um,
We have not. I don't think we brought that up officially.
oh no, okay. I didn't. Is that what doxing is?
Yeah, I
I
guess.
thought that
Yeah.
was. I thought that was a little dumb.
Yes, yes.
No, yeah, because
You're trying to get me canceled for things that have been buried. I have been acquitted of these crimes already.
people expose me for being a Christian rapper a lot, and they
Yeah, it's
find the
happened
link
to
to
me
our
as well.
SoundCloud. But yeah, so
Ooh.
I know for a fact
We
that
gotta
Chase
take
and
that
I
down.
met through a Lecrae Facebook group. And Zach, I
right.
know
That's
I
right.
remember downloading a G3
Uh-huh.
EP, maybe it
Off
was
SoundCloud, maybe.
Noise Trade, I think.
Noise
If
Trade.
it was up
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So because I remember
Wow.
having it in my iTunes library. So yeah, I think the actual connection point here was that we all like Christian rap, and we were just trying
Christian
to
hip hop,
we're trying to exist. But
which is
then
also relevant to this episode. So
it
kind of
is.
good that it comes out. It's gonna make it a lot
We're
funnier
like
later.
peak Christian hip hop in 2016.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
We're like right there.
So all that to say, I think we kind of all realized that we had other interests that were common, which were youth group music and Spider-Man mainly. And there's other stuff beyond that, but that's the extent.
So 2 years ago, I want to say it was. It got around to the youth group that I lead. That Zach is a rapper. That's a thing that happened. Um, and we have our fall kickoff that fall. I think this is 2024. Maybe it's 2023. Anyway, I arrive to our fall kickoff that year, and there is a sea of treat merch that people have on that I don't
No
know
way.
how they found it.
How?
I don't know. I have
Did
no
you
idea.
produce it? Like, were you selling merch, or did
So
they make
I
it?
had an active link back in the day.
Okay,
Where
okay.
you could
Wow.
order something and it was made on demand. Like I didn't.
Yeah,
I
okay.
didn't make it.
Sure.
So they
yeah.
found that link and just started buying stuff.
That's
and
pretty sick, though.
showed up,
Actually,
and
It's crazy.
there was
that's a
whole bunch of
lot
treat
nicer
merch
than
out
the
there.
reception I've gotten from teenagers that I work with finding out I used to rap. There's no support, no love, no acknowledgement. It's all just like,
There was a trend for
whatever.
like a couple months after camp last year where somebody found my Spotify page and they screenshotted my picture on Spotify and everybody like set it as their lock screen for like a little bit. That was kind of crazy. And
Yeah.
it's a pretty funny Spotify picture in retrospect. But yeah, so all three of us Christian rappers, all three of us loving youth group music. And what an album for youth group music and Christian rap that we're talking about here, with Where the Light Shines Through, Switchfoot's 2016 album. We played the trailer. If you're watching on YouTube, you saw at the very end, they had the release date up there, which was July 8th, 2016. Over 10 years ago now, which is pretty insane. And so we are flashing back. We are taking ourselves all the way back to circa summer 2016. And before we hop into the album, who were you guys in 2016? And what were you up to? We talked a little bit off mic about maybe where we first heard this album, some of those things. So what were the boys up to in 2016?
I was not prepared to revisit that. I'm just here for the music. The music that came out that year and some of the movies that came out that year, great. My personal life, we won't go there, man. No, I'm playing.
I'm the youngest of this group, and I think I was going. That would have been like the summer in between 10th grade and 11th grade, which was a big year for me because I went from public school back to homeschooling, which I was bred to be a homeschooler. So that was like a return to form. And also, I started working for Chick-fil-A that summer. And I've built a career with Chick-fil-A. So that was like a very, very monumental summer for me, I would say.
So you're on 10 years of that too.
I
Huh.
am, yeah. I celebrated my 10
That's
year
a
in
cool
June.
milestone, dog.
That's great.
Well, congrats. I didn't realize that.
That's
Man,
awesome.
time. Tis true what they say. Time flies.
Mm.
It does indeed. I think I'm the next oldest, so I'll go next for where I was doing in 2016. 2016 was the summer between my junior and senior year of high school, and was up to some things that summer. Namely, I took a mission trip to Ghana, Africa, with my youth group, and that was a super awesome trip. And because I was flying, I was overseas, all this sort of stuff. I had to download a lot of music and to listen to on flights and stuff. And so this was this album we're talking about now was one I listened to pretty much on repeat while I was over there in late July that year. And Need to Breathe's Hard Love was also another one. I think Nick Jonas had just come out with a solo album right around then. Also a big Jonas Brothers guy, so I had that one downloaded too. So super fun, and that was pretty much what I had had with me on this trip. So
All the
so much
music.
fun. It's great.
So this was
That's
probably
super
2015 or 2016 was probably one of the first major years where, at least for me, I quit relying on buying albums, and I was moving to streaming at that point.
Yep.
Mhm.
But I had a
Apple
similar
Music.
experience.
I think Apple Music dropped late 2015.
That
That
sounds
was when
right.
I caught on. So yeah.
I did a trip to Belize that fall, and I guess the secular crowd already got to me because the main album I remember blasting was "Blonde" by Frank Ocean. But
The secular
Sorry,
crowd
guys.
got to me. I only had one of the greatest albums ever made downloaded
yeah,
on my phone.
Yeah. But his follow up after that. Wait a minute. Hang on.
it's coming soon.
Yeah,
That's right.
someday.
I think he's gonna be at Camp Flog Gnaw this year.
I think he is.
I think he was at Holy Smoke Fest last week.
Oh,
You never know who they're gonna bring.
You
out.
never know.
You never know.
Chase, what about you? What were you up to in 2016? If
Uh,
you would like to share, even though you said you weren't going to do that.
Yeah, no, I have been exposed now as the old man of the group. So I was 1 year post high school graduation in 2016.
We're all
And
just
I
1
actually
year. That's crazy.
we're just spread apart by a year. But I had actually just started fresh out of high school, started leading my first youth group as youth pastor, which is kind of crazy. Started Bible college and then just kind of got thrown in. And it was a good time. It was awesome. And so it was kind of like that first step of being like, okay, I'm not in youth group anymore. But like Switchfoot was always has been and maybe always will be one of my favorite bands. And so, Switchfoot, it hadn't been that long since they had released an album. It wasn't like a big gap. It was a normal gap between albums. But just that year being that kind of a milestone, stepping out of being a teenager, and then Switchfoot drops a new album. This one really kind of holds a special cemented place in my life because of that, because of where I was and just kind of coming into adulthood, or at least what I understood of adulthood at that time. And I had a haircut that was almost as bad as Tim Foreman's was at that time. But yeah, it was a fun time.
You also had the holy water hat. Like you bought
And
the same hat.
yes, I did the wide brim fedora, and I held on to that way too long. Um, Wearing it at least. I actually still have it. I still own it. I won't let it go.
I was
But
gonna
it
say,
doesn't.
hold on to it. It'll come back in.
It'll come back.
Dude.
Well, it doesn't fit my head anymore. I don't know exactly how that works. My head got bigger, but it doesn't fit. But I still have it. So
I love that. Thanks for sharing who you were in 2016 and the questionable merchandise choices you made at Switchfoot shows and whatnot. Um, you mentioned the streaming thing, Jared. Chase is holding this album up on CD, has a couple times here already. I had this album on CD as well. I looked for the vinyl for the purposes of research and put it on the expense card that we have for this podcast kind of a deal.
that's right.
And
Yeah.
The vinyl is shockingly hard to find and very expensive, so I did not track that down. And I could not find my old CD. I had this and Hard Love that summer, both on CD, and was just blasting it in my 2003 Buick LeSabre. Was just jamming. It was great time.
Heck yes.
So yeah, I don't have the CD anymore. Chase, this
Kind
is
of
our
hard to tell. It's
physical
actually a
media
signed
boy
copy.
today.
Yeah.
Okay, flex a little.
You can see the. So funny story talking about the vinyl. I owned a signed copy of the vinyl.
No,
I
that sounds
bought
past
pre-ordered
tense,
from
Chase.
their website. Yes, past tense, because I made an unwise decision. I bought the vinyl. I didn't have a record player. And unfortunately, I was dating a gal at the time who I did not go on to marry. And I thought it would be a generous gift to her to help her get into Switchfoot.
Wow.
And so if you're interested in finding it, maybe you can message my ex and see if she'll give you a discount on the resale price. So
Wow.
it is signed though, so
I
I don't
gotta
know.
know.
So that's
I mean, obviously,
that's
you
kind of
married
the
this girl.
Has it.
dark part of 2016 for your boy.
I know you didn't marry this girl, but like, did it work? Did she like Switchfoot ever?
Yeah. I at least she caught on at least while we were together. After we broke up, she may have burned the album and all memory of them. But yeah, it worked for the time being.
All right, so we got the download on who we were 10 years ago, and I think it's only fitting for like just a couple seconds here because the web crawler is the thing that brought us all together in a lot of ways in the first place. There's a new Spider-Man movie out as we're recording this. All of us have seen it. And so maybe just in like 20 seconds, boys, what thoughts we got on the new Spider-Man film that's out right now?
I assume this can be spoiler talk because we're 2 weeks out, right?
Spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning for Spider-Man Brand New Day. If you're the only person on Earth who has not yet seen it.
Within the first 15 minutes, I had already declared that it was in the top 3 for me.
Come on.
I don't know that I'm ready to like actually make that list, but it's definitely in the top 3. One complaint that I have with superhero movies a lot of times nowadays is that I do appreciate a proper big bad behind the curtain. You know, like he was pulling the strings the whole time. And there, you know, I mean, I cannot remember his name, but the guy who's on Severance, who
Tremel
works
Tillman,
for
I think,
Damage
is the
Control.
actor's name.
Yeah. I mean, it was obvious something shady was going on with him. Knowing who Jean Grey is, we knew she wasn't the actual villain. But even then, you know, I think a big part of me was holding out that there'd be a man spider incident, and that didn't happen. But that's okay.
Sure.
That would have scared kids.
Yeah.
And probably
Would
me.
have scared me.
Top 3, including the Spider-Verse films, or just like live action?
I love the Spider-Verse films, but I don't include them just because the different format, you know.
Yep, totally. Chase? It's new Spider-Man.
I was not a fan. I am not a fan. I think he's a menace. No, I'm just kidding. I thought it was great. I just the same as Jared. I don't know if I'm ready to really make my ranking out there or rank it high, but kind of same experience. I was in the theater in the moment, you know, watching it, and I was like, this is my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time. I kind of feel that way a lot of times about a lot of them as I'm watching them. But I thought it was fantastic. It was a lot of fun as a Spider-Man fan. Kind of felt, you know, inspired by the Insomniac games, which I absolutely love. I think the Insomniac games are maybe some of the best modern takes on Spider-Man that we have. But yeah, absolute thrill of a film.
Only time I haven't been in the theater and said, yes, this is the best I've ever seen Spider-Man is Far From Home. I'm not a hater. It's always been.
It just wasn't there. Didn't do it quite. Quite.
I
for
will
you.
say, in reference to the Spider-Man game, when Far From Home came out and they dropped the red and black suit in the video game, I was swinging in that suit for a long time.
Heavy rotation.
In fact,
yes.
I was swinging in that game in that suit when I got the notification that the Sony deal fell apart. Do you guys remember that weird like couple weeks? where
Yes.
Tom Holland
Oh,
wasn't
we
gonna
were
be Spider-Man.
terrified.
Yeah,
Yeah, we were terrified. We thought it was Andrew all over again.
I know.
I forgot about
Yeah, I remember
that.
the memes.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So it was crazy time.
Wow. What a
And there was
time.
a time where, and there was a moment where Tom was still, they were still going to make another Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland, but it was
Yes,
just
it
going to
wasn't gonna
be,
be. Yeah, it wasn't gonna be a separate thing. Yeah. So
you know,
that
Mm.
as an
was.
agent of chaos, I would have, I would have enjoyed it. I'm sure. Just I mean, it would have been trash, but just to see what comes out of left field in a situation like that, maybe with a character I don't care about, would be better.
In the Morbius verse.
Yeah.
Madam Web in the post-credit scene. Would be great.
What's the official universe?
I don't
Spunk
remember
or
what the
something? Like,
name of it is. It's
I think in the Greek it's referred to as Hades, but most times we just say hell.
mhm.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But yeah, Spider-Man Brand New Day, I'm also a big fan. I've seen it twice as of this recording. And I just really like this is kind of just like it's not like a super deep take. I just like hanging out with Spider-Man. And this movie gives me just 2.5 hours of just hanging out with Spider-Man and just like I'm in his apartment with him hanging out. I'm with him building Legos with his buds. Like I'm just like just around and hanging out with Spider-Man. I just think that's really fun. I
Yeah.
think it just feels different. Like you can tell like he's actually in a suit, like in a Spider-Man suit. They didn't cover it up with CG and like try to make it this like super smooth thing that blends in with the rest of the MCU. They kind of gave him his own identity a little bit more in this movie, both from like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
costuming perspective, but also from a character perspective too, kind of untethering him from like a mentor figure, like Tony or Doctor Strange. Like he's kind of has to figure this out. Obviously, there's
Yeah.
other MCU characters in the movie, um, but yeah, I'm a big fan. It's one I think I'll probably watch a lot, just like throw on while I'm doing other stuff, um, and it's just a fun movie to revisit in that way. I kind of wish he had at this point his own stable of kind of iconic Spider-Man villains that are his. We have like the Vulture, I think is probably the closest, and I love Mysterio, but the staying power of that character because Far From Home wasn't like the best movie. I think suffers a little bit, but it'd be
Mhm.
cool if we had some Norman stuff going on or Otto was around a little bit, kind of like the MCU versions of those characters. But it is what it is, and Spider-Man's awesome, and he's the best, and Peter Parker is the best of us and the way that he chooses honesty, integrity, goodness at every corner is just my favorite. Love Spider-Man.
Amen, Pastor Zach.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah. Great
Um,
podcast. Good night, guys.
Great
Yeah, good night.
podcast. We'll wrap this
Yeah.
up. We are doing
Also, Zach, I think it's unfair that you get to hang out with Spider-Man, dude. I wish you'd introduce us.
yeah, sorry. I got I got the scoop on
Sounds
that one, but
fun.
I'm not allowed to share it. So it's kind of like how Peter Parker is able to take pictures of Spider-Man all the time, you know. It's kind of like one of those situations. But we are currently doing one of my wife's favorite things about podcasts, where we talk for 20 minutes about the thing that we're not podcasting about. She thinks that's just the best. So can't wait to hear her review after she listens to this episode. But I think it's about time we hop into Where the Light Shines Through, the album proper. Again, July 8th, 2016. And we are taking it back 10-year anniversary. Switchfoot did do a 10-year anniversary live stream for this album, I guess about a month ago. And kind of in the midst of the Forever Now rollout stuff, which is kind of fun. And it was fun to kind of go back and reflect on this album, listening to it with kind of fresh ears, having some nostalgia with it from 10 years ago and being in high school and all those sort of things. And to be reminded of those things, but also to be kind of separated from those things too. And to dive into some album credits that I wouldn't have when I was in high school and some of those things that's kind of given it new shape. And it's been a fun album to revisit. I guess maybe we'll start here. What did you all think of Where the Light Shines Through when it came out in 2016? Big fans? Not big fans? Where were we at? Some of us in high school, others of us just finished high school. We're doing adult things.
Having Jared on this episode is really going to make it hard for me to pretend to be cool about any of it because
Yeah.
he was an in-person witness. So um, Jared and I were working on a lot of music together that year. Jared and I actually performed a good
Performed a
handful
lot.
of
Yeah.
music together that year.
I think the most
And
I've performed my whole life was probably in 2016.
Same.
oh wow,
Actually.
definitely me too. Which is crazy because Jared, we mentioned earlier, we all kind of have a past with like Christian rap pursuits. Jared is now in like a real bands,
Capital
like
B
really
band.
doing it, like they're actually doing things. Like they play
A real
stages where Switchfoot performs, on tour. So like they're real. They're called Audiophile
They're
with
awesome.
PH. Not so subtle plug.
They're
Check
like
them out. They're good.
This is
my
a heart.
only friend's band that I would listen to even if I didn't know you.
Aw.
Same, and I do, and I
Aw,
do.
God.
Don't tell Jared I said that. But
That's sweet.
I bring that up to say, I think Jared watched kind of the unfolding of me in real time after this album came out, and then going to see the Looking for America tour, where I just fully shifted, and I was like, you know what? I don't even think I need to be me anymore. I'll just try to be John Foreman. It's pretty much what I do. So I leapt all the way into fanboy mode after this record came out. Already was, a lifelong Switchfoot fan. Like I said, something about this one kind of coming into my adulthood. It really became my personality for a while.
Jared, what's your like Switchfoot backstory? Like, obviously, you're gonna share here in a second about how you feel about this album, but
Yeah.
like, huge fan as a kid, and like, what's been your journey?
Not a
with
huge fan
Switchfoot
as a
overall?
kid. My dad was a youth pastor, so I grew up with
Same.
the I don't know what they're called, Wow hits CDs,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that Dare You to Move was on one of them. I remember specifically a guy who went to our church ended up going through a Celebrate Recovery program, like where he went off to a retreat center sort of thing for like a month. And they had a talent show. And he did Dare You to Move as like his talent, and everybody thought he was like some professional they had brought in because he was that much better than everybody else, which was a testament to that guy. I wish he was. I don't know where he is. But anyways, so yeah, I knew Dare You to Move. I mean, saw Walk to Remember on TV as a kid. I knew of Switchfoot, but I wasn't really a fan of any band besides Hawk Nelson and Family Force 5.
Amen.
So, but my uncle, who similar to Chase, his name is John. He put me on to a lot of music that I enjoy, and he was a huge fan of Switchfoot and Relient K, who is another band that we all love, who are timely to this conversation. Anyways, yeah, I always had some songs of theirs in my head that I loved. We Are One Tonight, I remember pretty young knowing that song and enjoying that one. But then there was a girl in my youth group who was a huge Switchfoot fan who, when you're a little guy and you're like, the only way to express that I like somebody is to be mean to them. So I actually actively told her how bad Switchfoot was and that Switchfoot was a terrible band.
Ooh.
Wow.
I didn't actually feel this way at all. I just wanted to, it's pulling hair,
Yeah. No, it's fine for the time being. It's just painful to bring it up on a Switchfoot fan podcast. But
I
whatever.
know. I'm
just
really putting myself out there.
I'm just playing.
But I do remember seeing them. I'd probably seen them before because I would get dragged to concerts as a kid, with my dad being the youth pastor. But the first conscious time I remember seeing them was Vice Versa's era. They were pretty close to my hometown, so it was like a 20-minute drive out. And I was going to try to hang out with that girl. But I really enjoyed their set that night, and I was like, you know what? I like this band too much to keep up with the facade. I just got to go ahead and say I'm a Switchfoot fan now. And then so from there, I kind of just, was a casual fan, I would say. And then when Chase and I became close, he was already like nerding out about Switchfoot all the time.
He already had
So I
a
was like,
fedora. So
I
It was a
already had the
small
fedora,
the brim
man.
was the brim was small, but yeah.
My fedora brim just kept growing over time.
Yeah. So I think when Chase and I became friends, I was finally allowed to like open up to my love for Switchfoot. And very early on, I realized that some of the songs that were deeply buried in my memories were from Oh Gravity. So the silent minority of Oh Gravity fans rise up.
Relevant to this conversation.
Yeah. So I would say at that point on, I was kind of obnoxious about Switchfoot.
Let's go.
I love it. The full turn.
Yeah.
And did that girl in high school like you more after you said you were a
No.
Switchfoot fan? No,
No, she had a joke with my friend. Would say her name and then say never happens. No matter what I've tried, there was no universe.
I reject you in every universe.
Pretty much, yeah.
No. So that's so funny. Because for me, one of the things I'm most excited to talk about with this album is the tour, the subsequent tour,
absolutely.
Looking for America. So I grew up listening to Switchfoot my whole life, pretty much from the time I was like 6 years old, and did not get to see Switchfoot live until I had a big boy job and a big boy car. And I always lived in super small towns and never lived anywhere that's like close enough for Switchfoot to be within 2 hours. So the closest that I got, I was 19. It was this year. The Looking for America tour was my first chance to see him live. And Jared, I saw the first show that I saw them with was in Birmingham, and Jared was there. So there's a little bit of podcast guest lore. And then, of course, as we mentioned in a previous episode, later show I saw in Knoxville of that same tour, and Zach was there. So I've seen the Looking for America tour with both of you.
It's true.
And this is a special night of memory for me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Speaking of tour stuff, I also saw this tour twice. So I can remember being in my living room in Indiana with my friend Levi, and my dad walked in the room, and we're playing video games or whatever, and he goes, "All right, boys, you're not going to believe this. Watch this trailer." And it was the tour announcement from Switchfoot saying they're going on tour with Relient K. And my friend Levi and I just freaked out. Like, we were like, what is going on? And so obviously we bought tickets right away, like all those kinds of things, because they came to Indy, which was really close to us. But then in the middle of all that, my family moved to Knoxville from Indiana.
Okay.
And so that's how I got to see them in Knoxville again.
Nice.
Is when they moved to Knoxville, I stayed behind in Indiana, finished high school there. And so I was still in Indy, living with this friend Levi at the time to finish school. And we went together, and another friend Dane went along with us, and that was incredible show. And then saw it in February in Knoxville with my dad and my sister.
So your family moved, was it right before your senior year?
Yes, they moved in
Okay.
July, or literally like maybe like the last day of July 2016.
Crazy.
So, yep.
My family did the same thing, but I had to move with them, so I did not get to stay with
I
a
had a
friend and
choice.
finish high school where I started it.
I had a choice. It was really cool. It was I was there for a semester, so I graduated early and then moved to
Okay,
Tennessee.
bet.
But it was a
That's
really
cool,
cool
man.
semester. I got to live with my best friend, and it was basically just like hanging out every night, playing video games and eating pizza and just living it up senior year. Like, it was
Living like a ninja turtle.
playing Rock Band every night. It's great.
Chase,
Heck
what
yeah.
was the closest major Tennessee town when you lived in Tennessee?
Knoxville.
So
Yeah.
So your family moved to Knoxville. Chase's family moved away from Knoxville. That's crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then I
that's
just
kinda-
made the long drive. So having lived close by, I had, some close family friends. So I made like a 5-hour drive to the show in Knoxville and just stayed with some family friends because I was like, I got to see this tour again.
Yes, and that Knoxville one was at the Mill and Mine, which is also where I saw Coin, R.I.P. And so yeah, it's special venue, special place, special tour. I can
Yes.
remember the confetti falling on me as Float played, I can
Mm.
take myself right back to that moment. Yeah, really great show, really great tour. It was a tour for this album, which I think Looking for America as the name of the tour is kind of interesting. Partially, one, I think it's a great name for a tour.
It's a great tour name.
Mhm.
It's a great tour name.
Yeah.
And Where the Light Shines Through tour just doesn't quite roll off the tongue.
It's long. That's a bit mouthy.
So I get it, but also interesting decision. But it is a pretty sweet tour name. Overall. Really like it.
And they continued to use that name, right? After, so
yeah, they did the Looking for Summer tour.
well, I think the leg that you guys went to together was called the Tour, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the
like
Looking
second
for
two.
America
It was the
tour.
nickname.
That's right. Yeah.
So funny.
And the indie
Very
show was
funny
the first
stuff.
leg, yeah.
And
Yeah.
then didn't they switch out? Like they kept that title without Relient K.
Yeah. That summer of 2017, so the next year, they went on a tour with Lifehouse called the
Yes.
Looking for Summer tour, which was
Okay.
kind of funny because it was like it had the Switchfoot tour name, but Lifehouse headlined the tour,
Mhm.
Yes.
which was an interesting move. I didn't get to see that tour actually. I bought one of the bootlegs they sold online. But yeah, so
Did they
I always
not
thought that was
also
kind of
go
a
on
funny
a?
decision.
Did they do a Looking for Europe tour? Did I make that up?
That sounds right, but
Or Looking
I
for
don't know.
Canada, maybe. I don't know.
I don't live in Europe, so I
Mm.
cannot confirm nor deny. I
Chase
can't
remember-
speculate.
I don't know what show it was, but I think they did like a one-off with Switchfoot and Lecrae, and I don't remember. I remember the stream, but I don't know if they did the song together. But I remember that.
So
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say you may be talking about something different, but before the album came out in spring of 2016, they toured with Lecrae. I think it was called the Heartlands tour.
Yes, that
And it
sounds
was
right.
mostly like I think it was mostly like a West Coast New England tour. They didn't hit a lot of spots, which is probably where the collaboration was birthed out of.
Mhm.
And the New Respects actually opened that tour, which
Okay,
I
yeah,
think
I do
was
love
maybe
them.
one of their first big launches into the public eye, so to speak, as a band. Yeah. Didn't get to see that tour either, obviously, but yeah. So that we'll get to this later, but that does make me wonder because obviously there's a Lecrae collaboration on this album, and it was spring 2016. So obviously, you know, they had already released a couple singles from this album on that tour, and I just makes me wonder. Uh, did the Lecrae collab come during the tour? Like, was it a last minute tack on to the album? Or had they already planned it and then somebody's management was like, "Oh, I'll just do a tour." Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. We
Okay,
can
so
never
I might
know.
have an
But I
answer
do
for
gotta
this.
do it. Oh, let's go. I'm curious.
I don't know if it's gonna answer it directly, but in one of the either trailers or promotional materials for this record, Mike Elizondo, who worked a little bit on this album in addition to John Fields, makes a comment about well, this is how Dr. Dre would have done this song, and John's like, okay, well, uh, then that's how we're gonna do it. And so trying to piece that together timeline wise, still having kind of a little bit of an issue figuring that out. But my hunch, my hunch is that they had an idea for a song together first and tour together second. Is my guess.
Okay.
That's
It
my
seems
That
like a
sounds right.
song that couldn't have existed as Switchfoot before they had the idea to put Lecrae on it.
Yes.
Like it feels like we're intentionally
Yeah.
going to write a song that will have room to have Lecrae on it.
Yeah.
Yes. And
But-
well, I don't know where this fits timeline wise. Church Closed 3. No, we're opening up the Christian hip hop bag right now.
We're opening up the
This is great.
2016
We're
bag hard.
going in there.
Big
Church
year.
Closed
Big
3
years.
had just come out. And that record is Lecrae, I think, tackling some of the I don't know, more political ideas and things that he was wrestling with on that album, maybe more so than any of his ones before. And so I think Looking for America kind of doing the same for Switchfoot in a way that there was something in the air in that collaboration in that like 2015, 2016 window. But my guess is there was an idea for a song with a Christian rap verse on it,
Yeah.
Lecrae in mind. They worked together on the song, and like, wait, what if we did a little tour? And then they
That
went on a little
tracks.
tour. Is my guess.
There was also Lecrae's song "Welcome to America" on
In
Anomaly, which
2014,
kind of feels like a
Anomaly, yeah.
precursor to this song.
That's
For
true.
Lecrae's parts, at least.
Yeah.
I guess that would make Looking for America a prequel, though, right? Because if you're being welcomed, then you must have found it.
It's true. I also saw the Anomaly tour in 2014 where I saw Lecrae
Oh, no
do
way.
Welcome to America.
Go
In the
see
same venue, I saw
Satellite.
Switchfoot for the Looking for America tour. How about that? Mind blown.
Nice.
So diving into the producer stuff a little bit, Jared had mentioned that "Oh Gravity" was like some of the songs that he had some really fond memories of, and that's relevant to this conversation because John Fields, who would be the kind of main producer for this album, as John writes in one of the many blogs about this album on their website, is the first time that they and John Fields have worked together since "Oh Gravity" was, so they had 10 years between, which that's kind of crazy. 10 years between Where the Light Shines Through and now 10 years between "Oh Gravity," Where the Light Shines Through. That doesn't feel right.
So they release a good album every 10 years.
This is true.
If the year
we
ends
got a good
with
one this year too.
6,
How about that?
then the album's gonna be good.
What year is
Not
Chip?
many people hold your 2006 opinion on "Oh Gravity," I think.
No.
It's just,
I found that a lot more people than I realized hold that one in very high esteem.
that's good.
So you're not that alone, Jared. It's just me that you have to fight through, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So John Fields worked on this album. Mike Elizondo, who served as the kind of the executive producer of "Forever Now" that just came out, and also did Blurry Face for 21 Pilots back in this time period, and it's coming off working with them. And those are kind of the two main producers. There's another one, Caleb Shreve, who worked on "Live It Well," but for the most part, it's John Fields overseeing the whole thing. Elizondo worked on a few songs, and that's kind of how we got the album that we got. It's coming off of Fading West in 2014, which is also kind of relevant to this conversation in the sense that they wanted to get back to playing guitar. They didn't really use any guitars that they mentioned on Fading West. Like, that wasn't a huge instrumental driver for them. They're making this for the documentary, all this sort of stuff. And so they kind of approached this album a little bit differently. And a quote from John Foreman, I guess loose quote, is that this album ended up filled with more joy than what was expected given the season that John was in as they were kind of writing this and kind of putting it together, which is kind of where you get the theme of the album. The wound is where the light shines through. It's kind of, there's darkness, there's wounds, there's hurt, there's pain. But through all of that, there's joy, there's healing, there's where the light shines through. And so it's a very interesting album thematically there too. I thought this little tidbit from a review I found from a website called Plugged In. Let me pull up the specific quote here. From, let's see, from Adam Holtz. He writes, "A kaleidoscope of sonic influence swirls through Switchfoot's 10th album, Where the Light Shines Through. Sometimes I hear a bit of Maroon 5. Other times, some Beach Boys. Foster the People, the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, a pinch of Queen, a little Jack Johnson, a dash of Prince, gospel, rap, pop, rock, funk, island-inspired melodic breezes. There's a lot of musical gumbo deliciously simmering, as Toby Mac might describe it, on this album. In the end, though, it still unmistakably sounds like Switchfoot. And that swirling symphony of sounds is all in service of messages baptized in pain, but drenched in redemption." Shout out Adam Holtz for that fire.
That was a visceral description.
Yes.
Crazy.
It was also somebody proving that
Crazy.
they know
No.
some bands.
Yeah. Here's every band I know.
Yeah. I've listened to these guys before.
Foster the People.
The one, weirdly enough, I remember John Foreman posting before this album came out, like some of the artists that they had drawn inspiration from. And I remember the only one that I remember on that list was Lord. And the only reason maybe that I remember Lord being on that list is because it did not make sense to me at the time, and still does not make sense to me where the Lord inspiration came on this album. But anyways,
Am I about to pull
he
up
just
State Memory?
wanted people to know that he was listening to Lord.
There was one of the bands that we like that put out a Royals cover around this time. Oh, who was it? Oh, it's
I
gonna
know
drive
the
me crazy.
Struts did. I don't know if you guys are a fan of the Struts. They have a pretty sick cover of that song.
Oh man, that's gonna drive me crazy. This might be a crazy pull, but I think it might have been a band that no longer exists, but was in the same circles, called Paper Route. Anybody listen to Paper Route back in the day? They opened for
Yeah,
Deep
yeah.
on that song.
I never deep,
I
but
think they were the
yeah,
ones I'm thinking of that
I
did the Royals cover around this time. Interesting. Anyway,
what album of theirs did I? We're totally side trailing now,
it was
but
Paper
yeah,
Route.
I
I
knew a little bit
agree.
of Paper Route.
Yes.
Fun.
So yeah, Lord is an influence they wrote about. Love that. It's a very fun 2016 influence to have. And I guess foster the people, according to Adam Holtz of Plugged In, as well. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of the album as a whole. Any other fun tidbits or anything on the kind of overall as we listened, or just kind of like big picture stuff on where the light shines through before we hop in track by track? Anything else kind of sticking out?
This
What
is
do you guys-
the San
do you guys think
Diego
cover art?
Wildfires album.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Wildfire's album for sure. Jared, what were you gonna say?
Jared, you asked about the cover art?
Yeah,
Sorry.
when do y'all tackle that normally?
We can tackle it now if you want to talk about the cover art.
We sure can.
Chase is holding it up to the screen right now
For the anybody who's actually gonna look.
for the YouTubers.
So my
Yeah.
understanding is that Tim did that painting.
Is this
No, I don't. Is it? Let me pull out the credit liner. Let me check your facts,
No
Jared.
receipt. Now I'm
The fact
guessing.
check.
physical media forever? Here we
Hmm.
go.
Tim does a lot of the visual art. I know Tim hand painted the Interrobang cover art, so that would be a viable guess. But if I can find the actual credits portion, but yeah, so this is kind of the cover art is an interesting thing to pull out because it like other than the fact that it's yellow, it doesn't really seem to match with the name of the record at all, where the light shines through.
Hmm.
Um, but my understanding is that they kind of said their approach to making this album sonically was to quote throw paint on the wall.
Yep.
And so I think that was the inspiration for the cover art, but it was something that they did not touch on a lot in any of the promotion or really rarely talked about. So I feel like they could have leaned into that a little bit harder,
Yes, I did.
but
We'll get into the
I
paint on the
am
wall on one of the songs in particular. That
yeah.
reading their little blog posts found some
Track
fun
15.
trivia.
Paint on the wall by
Mm,
Switchfoot.
noise. Matt Moust,
Modest
last name
Mouse.
spelled Maust.
Shout
I'm
out.
assuming that's pronounced Moust, like Faust. So shout out to him for the cover
Matt,
art.
Mouse, Midas, and myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah, shout out for the great cover art. Maybe it's just nostalgia, but when I see this album cover, which is a good time for me to put it up here for our YouTube friends. I do a kind of a rush of nostalgia washes over me for my going into senior year of high school.
Yeah.
Did you guys try to see something in it? Like, I was always trying to
No,
figure out what it was.
no,
I think
never
they,
did.
like it was like a mixed media approach, but I don't think there was supposed to be anything to find.
I would like to request a vinyl reprint, and I would like a yellow, white, and black splatter variant, please.
Oh, yes.
I
Yes.
would very like.
This is still in the era where, for some reason, people are putting the album cover with the title and the band name.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though we're in the streaming area, I guess they weren't quite there. So you still had to put who the album was on there. And y'all will notice I guess native tongue does have Switchfoot's name on it.
Yeah.
Terrorbank doesn't. And
Neither
then
does Forever Now.
yeah, it doesn't have the band name on it, but this is like in bold letters. It's a Switchfoot album.
Which, fun fact, the physical versions of both of those records, the Switchfoot's title is on it, but on the hype sticker.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm,
it is very
mm.
much a physical and streaming decision to feel the need to put the name of the band on the actual
True.
album art itself.
True.
Because on the physical, it's there in the form of the hype sticker that you can peel off and keep or whatever, which is very fun. All right, well, without further ado, are we ready to go into this thing track by track? We feeling ready?
Give me something I can feel.
Give me something I can feel. All right, here we go. Holy Water, track number 1. We talk about it every episode of this podcast. I am just fascinated by album openers, and this was an album opener, especially because I would listen to this on CD a lot in my car. Probably heard this song more than any of the others on the album, and it's probably I don't know where it would rank among my favorite Switchfoot songs, but it's up there for me. Just in like the bridge is just awesome, with the heavy guitars and like really love musically where the song starts and finishes. Um, but yeah, how do we feel about Holy Water?
Trying to dissect the song from the live experience because they're
Uh-huh.
so tight in my head.
My thoughts exactly. Killer tour opener.
Yeah, it's hard. A good album opener doesn't necessarily translate to a great show opener.
Not always, yeah.
You want it to, but yeah, I think it's a good way to open up the themes of the album. It's got the little audio clip talking about hope deserving an anthem at the beginning of the song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
And again, what I said a second ago, big nod how this is, for me, this is the San Diego Wildfires album.
Mhm.
I think they said, that part of the inspiration for this song was, I think John Foreman said that on his commute from his house to their studio, where they work on everything, there was like a lot or something where there was a recent fire and like all the ground was just like scorched earth basically. And so like just kind of seeing that every day, and there was a lot of news about a lot of wildfires in California at that time. And it was just kind of an inspiration for him, and I guess, as a songwriter often does, kind of connecting it to the inner turmoil of a human, and the dryness of the soul, as it were, and the need to be watered.
Yeah, totally. I think it was in
And then the religious aspects, you got to say the word holy, and then
totally, yeah.
then it's youth group
They're
music.
a Christian band after all. But yeah,
That's
It's not a
right.
very Protestant thing. Just saying.
yeah, that's fair. I was watching one of the album video trailer things, and they just talked a lot about how they really wanted this album to feel like a return to rock music, and this album opener is
Yeah.
honestly like has a mix of pop-ish production with some like 808s up front and just kind of a different more modern pop rock sound in the opening and the intro and the verses, and then obviously once you get to the bridge it like guitars really come in heavy and it's like, oh, this feels like kind of quote unquote classic Switchfoot.
Now that you say that, yeah, the verses feel very Taylor Swift to me, which would resonate with like the Lord piece, but like the da 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 is very
yeah
it's very pop.
yeah
Good catch, Jared. Yep. Good pull.
it's a great pull.
My head is aching like a riot. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
also
No, I
think
thought
there's some Taylor
this was
Swift on "You Forgot Who You Are." Have we talked about this? The Taylor Swift connection on that?
No, but You Forgot Who You Are is like 6 different songs.
It
It's
is.
definitely the adults are talking.
It's the
About the
adults are
Strokes.
talking,
for
but the
sure.
way that John sings the chorus of "You Forgot Who You Are," specifically how he tails the word "R" specifically, is like super Taylor Swift coded.
I
So
hear
the
that.
next time you listen to it,
You forgot who you are.
yes,
I
yes,
didn't mean to do that. So zesty.
So good.
exactly that, exactly that. Um,
Yeah, I nailed it.
yeah, you sure did. What were you saying before I interrupted you, though, Chase?
I don't know if I was saying anything. I just I think this was one of my favorites off the record.
Yes.
Just because kind of the way it comes in, it starts off, it's kind of a subtle build, and then that first strike of the guitar, coming into the pre-chorus, or I guess it would have been, I guess it's just technically the chorus. I don't know, but yeah. So
Yeah.
I think this one is good, um, thematically and compositionally. Great song
Actually, that's a
again.
good point.
Killer
The-
opener for their show.
The chorus feels like a pre-chorus, and the bridge feels like the chorus.
Yes. Feels very worship music in that way to me.
Mm.
The way that
There's a
Mhm.
lot of songs on this album that feel very, and that's, I mean, this is one of my favorite Switchfoot albums, if not my favorite, which I think is why I was allowed to be on.
Okay.
I know I have terrible taste, but yeah, there's a lot of songs in here that are like, that's gonna do numbers at a Lifeway.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. Totally. And it did. They
Yeah.
got my Lifeway got my
Dude.
money for this record.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's Family Christian Books.
I don't
Yeah,
think I spent a
We
dime
had a
at
family, but I didn't want to
Lifeway
say
in
that because I felt like that was
2016.
more niche.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Family Christian Books. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Chase.
Also, I want to apologize to our listeners for whatever is wrong with my internet connection and why I keep getting delayed and talking over y'all. So I am sorry about that.
We get
I might just sit back and listen,
about every other episode we get a Chase tech malfunction, so we'll be okay. We'll be
Yeah,
okay. It'll
man.
smooth out. We'll figure it out.
As long as
Uh,
my phone doesn't die, it
that's
could
true.
happen.
That's true. And so moving into track 2, we've got Float, which was a song of the summer for me in 2016. Wore that sucker out pretty heavily with friends and just being in the car, windows down. Total like vibe in that way. And then the music video came out and started to realize that the song was kind of born through like some kind of a dark situation. I've got the story, I got the blog pulled up here. I'm gonna pull the exact quote. Um Float is a song that was inspired by a conversation with a friend of mine named Jeremy. Jeremy helps kids and families who are victims of ISIS and other violent attacks in Iraq. He connects these refugees with doctors, helps them get back on their feet through an organization called Preemptive Love. Jeremy lives in Iraq with his family so he can better serve the community. Jeremy told me that after a hard day of work, he will put his headphones on and listens to songs that bring him hope, songs that remind him to stay strong and not to give up. He told me that our songs have brought him perspective and encouragement when he desperately needed it. And so, like, this song coming from a story of somebody who's like on the grounds with victims in Iraq, like a lot of these songs are birthed out of like some of these kind of really dark situations and scenarios, but there's like this bright light and joy also like coming out of them too in a lot of ways. And so yeah, this is a fun one. This is a fun tour closer too, like the closer before the encore kind of a vibe. I'm looking for American
The
tour.
Bubble Machine now,
Yes.
or at least at one point.
Yes, I definitely had confetti during one of the times I saw them, and then maybe there was bubbles too. But yeah, it's just a
Disco
totally
ball.
like fun song.
They had a disco ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's been about 3 years since I've seen Switchfoot live, and the last tour was the Beautiful Letdown anniversary tour. And when they pulled Float out, I was shocked. I mean,
Yeah.
pleasantly surprised. I was like, they're gonna get like 5 non-album songs, and they're gonna pick Float.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah. This song has had legs for Switchfoot, dude. This, again, I mentioned that the Looking for America tour was the first time I saw Switchfoot live, and I've seen them many times since. And they have played Float consistently for years, which is kind of
Not
shocking.
fun to play.
It's not one that you expect to have that much longevity. But yeah, it just probably hits live really well. Something else that I think is really fun about this song is it's in a slightly unusual time signature. It's in 7/4, and it's one of those songs that it doesn't really strike you as such.
Never.
Like a
Yeah.
buddy of mine, we were listening to this song a year ago. A good friend of mine named Jake, we were on a road trip, and we were talking about it. And he's obsessed with like music theory, all that stuff. And he talks about like how he writes a lot of songs in 7/4. And we were listening to this song, and I was like, here's a 7/4 song for you. He was like, what? I said, yeah, this song is in 7/4. He said, no, it's not. I said, yes, it is. Count it out. He said, no way, it is. And I don't know how they framed the song sonically to be able to pull that off, to feel so radio friendly despite being in a, not a time signature. If it's not 4/4 or 3/4, then the radio's not gonna fool with it, or 6/8, which is, But yeah,
There's
so
another
I've
song
always thought that was a lot of
with
fun.
a weird, or it's a signature change. I'll have to think about what it is. One of the bridges. I'll figure it out before we get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
I've been a drummer for 3 days, so I pretty much know exactly what you guys are talking about.
It's Looking for America. It's Looking for America.
Is it?
It is. We'll get there though. The majority of the song is in 4/4, and there is a small portion of, I guess, the bridge before the rap verse where it switches to,
Yeah.
I think, 6/8.
Yeah, you're right. It is that song. When I was doing my review for this,
Yeah.
I noted that for the first time.
Yeah.
Fascinating. I feel
Fun
there's
with time
there's another
signatures.
Lecrae feature where that happens. Is it the Hillsong Young and Free Lecrae verse? Where there's something weird with the time? I can't remember. That was also around this time of
I
year.
think that's the same.
No,
I don't know.
I couldn't remember.
Okay, so there was a contest to remix Float that came out after the album was out, I think.
I don't remember that.
So they would get.
I guarantee you, Chase submitted something though.
It would have
I
been
don't-
bad if I did.
I don't
I
think
did
he
not,
did.
thankfully.
But I did.
Oh.
But I'm not a producer. But I realized that, showing my sin here, that the progression is very similar to Fade off the Life of Pablo. So I just put a mashup together.
Noise.
But it works really well. There's no way I still have it, but
So you're saying Adam Holtz missed the Kanye comparison in his plugged in
Mm.
review?
seems racist, but whatever, Adam. It's fine.
Sure.
Missed
Yeah.
it. Missed it.
Missed it.
Dang it.
Almost. But yeah, Float, lead single? Was it the lead single?
It was. It was the lead single.
Off this record.
My mom hates this song.
Oh. This was like a
Do you know her
song I could
favorite
show my
Switchfoot song?
friends.
Her favorite Switchfoot song is Afterlife,
Okay, so she wants him to be a little bit heavier. She wants more.
I guess. This song is too, they played too high on the guitar neck,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Float was a very safe song to play with people that like you're like, do you like rock music? Do you like bands? Like it was kind of like
Yeah.
an easy like, let me throw this on the playlist and like whoever's in the car will like find it pleasing. Like it's very fun in that way. So
It has broad appeal. This is one of those songs, to harken back to something you mentioned on the last episode. This is one of those songs that got picked up by ESPN a lot. Which is kind
Yeah.
of random, but it showed up in a lot of like
That
sporting
tracks.
events. Yeah.
me
Yeah.
back Saturday mornings or
Yeah, dog.
Saturday noon kickoff. Come on, I love it. Moving on to track 3 here, we got the title track, Where the Light Shines Through.
The
And-
demo.
The demo.
which is yes, a big when you said paint on the wall, there was some of that I was going to mention here, with Where the Light Shines Through being a released demo essentially, and the band choosing to live with kind of the messiness of the take and some of those things that like actually made the song better, which is really cool, and really love that about this song. This is one of my favorite Switchfoot songs. I don't know where I would place it, and I kind of feel like we need to invent a new category for this specific thing, but this would be my sneaky pick for the Beatles song on the album, in the way.
Oh yeah.
Yes, in the way
sure.
that I've gotten really into the Beatles in the last couple weeks, like really into the Beatles. The way that this feels like it was
happened, sweet
ripped.
salt.
It does. The way it feels
I
like it
remember
was
my first Krabby Patty.
it was ripped. It feels like it was ripped from the, like, Get Back sessions.
Get back. Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
and just, like, kinda the rawness of it and the energy of it, and so this is my, Beatles track of the album if we were to make a new category. It's
That
got,
is a fun
Is
category.
is there a release version of or the real like what would have been the real version?
No, not that I'm aware of,
I
which I
Mm,
think is fascinating. Because we've talked about this on the phone before, Jared. There are times when bands, Switchfoot included, will like release a demo version of a song as like a bonus track on an album. So
mm.
that would seem like low hanging fruit and easy like bonus track to throw on a deluxe version. Like here's the studio or the alternate version or whatever you could think to call it. But as far as I have seen, it's never made the light of day.
That's pretty fascinating. I was just looking at the story behind the song for this one. Got the album one, but not the one for this song. Interesting. Um, I don't know what happened to the one I had for the song.
I have
Anyway,
a screenshot from that blog if you would like me to read it.
yeah, read
Uh,
some of it. I think it
this
was
may
really
not,
fascinating. I don't know where it went from
yeah,
on my page of tabs here, but
this may not be
anyway,
what you were going to pull from, but
great.
this is what I saved. He says, early one morning, just before we completed mixing on the record, Tim came into the room with a bold and unwelcome opinion. He said, I think the demo is better. That's not a popular statement. Are you saying we should scrap the day and a half's work? Okay, I can't read apparently. A day and a half's worth of work that we did to record drums, bass, guitars, vocals, keys, and everything else. Are you saying the first time we ever played the song with all its idiosyncrasies and mistakes was a better version? And he said, "Yup, that's exactly what I'm saying." And I guess Tim fought for that opinion hard, and they went with it. And that's the version that made the album.
And it's a version I like a lot. Big fan of this song. And um it kind of like through my family moving to Tennessee was like a big song for me and just like number one, the imagery of the wound is where the light shines through like really I don't know, resonated with me somehow. I just thought it was really powerful lyric and metaphor in that way. Um
Yeah.
but yeah, big
It's one of those, like, sleeper Christian things,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily have to seem like a biblical theme from the
No,
surface,
yeah.
but, like, if you kinda think about, like, the Apostle Paul talking about the thorn in his flesh and how my grace is sufficient, so I'll boast in my weaknesses because in my weakness, his strength is made perfect. That's kinda what I always thought of it, of course, kinda from the youth group church kid perspective. Um, and I think it's cool how they can kind of hold the line between those two worlds. So yeah, I think it's a beautiful picture of that, but also just kind of life.
Totally. Jared, got any big thoughts on this one?
No, other than the Beatles comparison, that's spot on. It feels. I mean, this is Hey Jude. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I will say, Chase lore is that. So Chase has a band that he does sometimes called Center of Attention,
Mm-hmm.
and some songs that we recorded together in 2017. We kind of had a common thing where we would go write a song and then we would realize that it was probably just a ripoff of a Switchfoot song. And we did conclude that there's a song called Who I Am that we put out, and that is this song. I mean, it's a different. The instrumentation is different, the lyrics are the same, but if you listen for it, it's the same song.
It's a different key, but it's the same song.
Yeah, it
We
is.
just transposed it. Yeah, man.
That's great. That's great. I love that so much. There's a lot of audio things that we've referenced on this podcast that I really wish I had clips of. They would have been very great. Um, but yeah, the great song, great title track. Sometimes title tracks can be hit or miss for me. Um, there's times where, like on Forever Now, I really appreciate how there's not a song called Forever Now. But
Mhm.
also there's times like this where a title track really works and really speaks to me and kind of sums up the album as a whole. And this is one of those for me. But and then we kind of get our first kind of real like Christian radio song, but actually one that I think is, in my opinion, towards the higher end of quality of the Christian radio songs with "I Won't Let You Go." Partially because I think this song has just a lot more going on um, lyrically and kind of underneath the surface than a lot of Christian radio songs do, and just some of the kind of the intense pain and like um, that's kind of in the undercurrent throughout the whole thing,
It's not
and also
really.
explicitly too.
It's not Christ centered though, right? This is
No, but it did get
Song.
the CCM remix with Lauren Daigle, right?
Fair. Yes, it did.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, it's one of those songs that's kind of a weird song in a Christian space where it's like kind of written from the perspective of God, no?
Yeah.
Am I overreaching for that
No,
interpretation?
I think
Got the
that's
story
fair.
behind the song right here. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
John
John's
writes.
never gonna admit that.
Yeah. John writes, last year was a really tough year for me. This album was in many ways an attempt to find a path toward hope, armed with the flashlight of melody and lyric. I Won't Let You Go is a song that faces the darkness head on. I tried to sing this one from the other side, from the inside of love, from the conclusion of the story. If the author of Time and Space, someone who maybe you'd call that person God, I don't know. He didn't write that part. I added that part. If the author of Time and Space, the one who breathed my soul into existence, were to sing me a song about trust, it might sound something like this: I love you and I won't let you go. I believe that where you put your trust begins to define you. This is a song about learning to trust in a transcendent love that will never leave me. You want peace, but there's war in your head. Maybe that's where life is born, where our facades are torn. Pain gives birth to the promise ahead.
There was a time when this song made me cry automatically anytime I listened to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those for sure.
And this is another song that kind of had legs in terms of
Yes,
like
it did.
set list.
Mhm.
They played this song for a long time. I don't think I've heard them played in several years now, but this song stayed on the set list for a long time. I know at least I think the last time I heard them play this was in 2021 when they toured with Need to Breathe, coming off the release of Interrobang, and this song was on the set list that whole tour. So they played it, you know, that's 5 years post-release. Not the longest, I guess, but it's still kind of long when you think about how big of a catalog they have.
Well, I mean, I just looked. This is their biggest song streams wise since
Really?
The Beautiful Letdown.
Wow.
From what I see
Wow.
on Spotify right now.
Crazy.
The Lauren Daigle remix has 54 million streams on Spotify, which would
Shout out LD.
which would place it fourth from what I can see. Now, it does
Wow.
have, because of the Forever Now just coming out, it has a bunch of those songs sprinkled in, so maybe it's not truly fourth. But from what I can see right now, it is the LD remix is their fourth most streamed song on Spotify, which is just kind of a fun little fact there. Would
I did
have guessed.
not I did not love the remix on this one.
Yeah, I prefer the original.
I do too, but not even just because of Lauren Daigle on there, but they
she's
change they slightly alter the melody in the verses. So even John Foreman re-recorded his verses for that remix. And I just don't think it hits as well for me. I guess because I had already developed such an attachment to the original. Like I said, obviously a very emotional one for me. So then they kind of come and change it with a different version, and I'm just like, no, I'll stick with the original.
Yeah.
I think I haven't listened to the remix more than twice, but I think I have it in my head to sing the wrong melody now when I hear this song.
I think that's how they continued to play it live, actually. And I don't, I don't even know if they changed the melody as much as maybe they changed like the octave on the way a word ends. But like the original, like, he says, And you wonder what is it worth. In the remix, it goes, and you wonder.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah,
in
that's
my
how I
head.
sing
I
it,
don't
man.
have
how the song
perfect
goes.
pitch, so I can't tell right now. I need to play it on a piano to know if it's actually like different notes or if it's just a different octave of the same notes. But still, yet, um, yeah, prefer the original recording. Even though, yeah, you're right, they did continue to sing that newer version live for the rest of the time.
Well, clearly it's a song that's resonated as it's become, yeah, one of their most streamed songs in their catalog and probably their biggest recent in the last 10 years, probably their biggest song, which is um given everything they put
Unlike the
out since
last
then.
3 songs, though, I'm not gonna be able to just like if this one comes on, if my music's on shuffle, probably not. I'm gonna skip it.
Yeah, me too. Not because
Ooh,
it's for me, it's not because it's a bad song.
Just got to be in the right headspace for a song like that.
that's
Big
true. You kind of
decisions.
have to seek this song out.
Which is
Mhm.
a good segue into track 5 because track 5 to me is a song anytime, any place, anywhere. I will turn it whatever I'm listening to up as pretty much loud as I possibly can.
Mhm.
Because if the house burns down tonight is track 5, and this is
Mm.
a song that just freaking rocks, and I love it so much. Another Wildfires song.
Yup.
Back to the San Diego Wildfires thing. Another song that is awesome live and
Hmm.
one of those that's so fun to experience with people you love live. I got to see it
Mhm.
with my sisters and my dad and like scream those lyrics together is
You
like
can just jump up and down to
it's
this
just
song.
awesome. And then
So much fun.
again, when my family was going through the move, this was another kind of like big song for me of like take away everything else. Like if we got each other, like we're gonna be all right.
Yeah, dog.
And yeah, this is like an all timer for me as far as Switchfoot songs go.
Yeah.
Um,
This is one of those songs that is,
You guys
as you're
rank the
describing right
songs
now.
we
on
have
the
not
album.
ranked
No,
them.
we normally
It's
don't.
we normally
Well,
don't.
this is the best song on the album.
Yeah.
My girlfriend who I did marry, um, my wife now, this is her favorite song off this album. One of her favorite Switchfoot songs. So she would agree with you,
So
Jared.
good.
Yeah, she's
This is
right.
one of those songs that it's fun because, as you're describing, Zach, it's very meaningful, but it's also a song that can be enjoyed even if you don't think about the meaning. Like you can just kind of rock to it, and you don't have to think so hard
Yeah,
about it.
I
So
can
those are
cry
always
to it,
fun.
and
Yeah,
I
you
can
can
also
cry
just
to
let
it,
it
or you can turn your brain off. Yeah, that's what's so fun about it. Jerome always comes and stands out on the front of the
Yeah.
stage. It's kind of get a Jerome moment from this song. I remember when on the very first show that I saw Switchfoot on this tour, when they played this song, John Foreman kind of leaned over with one foot on the barricade, and Jared was right next to me, and John Foreman reached down and grabbed my hand during the bridge of this song, and I haven't watched it since. No, I'm just kidding. But I never watched it before anyway. But yeah, so I remember that being like really cool. But the funny thing was, I remember he sang the wrong lyrics in the bridge. And I think that maybe is one of the even more memorable parts of that for me, even more so than just him grabbing my hand, was that he like looked me straight in the eyes and he sang
Yep.
the wrong lyrics. I was like,
Which
this
is kind of
is
hilarious
real
because
John Foreman in real life now.
it's just really funny because the song itself sets it sets John up to get a lot of lyrics wrong because the chorus changes every time.
Yeah, but it was the
Uh,
bridge that
but it
got
was
him
the
stumbled.
bridge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he worked so hard to get the choruses right
Yeah.
that the bridge he fumbled. But
Yeah.
it was great. It was so much fun. Always is. They've played this song again. This song has had legs.
Yeah.
I don't think it stays on the set list a lot of times, but it's one that they will pull out anytime a request is made, and sometimes they'll pull it out just because it's flat out fun. So yeah,
It looks like they played it a week ago.
sheesh, yup.
Yeah, it's a banger. It's they put out a show from 2016 in the last couple of years, like an entire concert from 2016 from the
Yes,
living
at the
room.
Palladium.
Yes.
Yeah,
And great concert. It's not a concert movie, but it sounds great. They're great.
Mm.
He's got the fedora on, very 2016.
very 2016.
And well, just when this song comes on, it's just yeah, it's It's just gold. Yeah, it's just the best. And such a fun one to experience live too, and brought back a lot of memories. Seeing that concert and reliving the "If the House Burns Down Tonight" the 2 times I got to see it. So,
Jerome would sing on this too, right? I mean, I know he does background vocals and a lot of stuff, but like live, I feel like he was passionate about this song.
Yeah, I think it was kind of more of just like a, John takes his mic and holds it in front of Jerome's face, and forces him into singing vocals. But yeah, I think you're right.
I remember thinking that he went too far, like he got too into it.
Calm down,
Calm
Romy.
down, Jerome.
Calm down. I love Jerome. He's the best member of any band of all time. He's the
Wow.
best.
Of all
I'm-
time. That's
I'm-
crazy.
I mean,
I mean, respect to Jerome.
I'm not joking, but I'm joking.
Yeah, totally. So the first 5 songs are, if they were released as an EP, would be
A
one
very
of my
strong
favorite
EP.
Switchfoot
Yeah,
things
yeah,
ever.
yeah. It's a solid 5-track run.
And then we shift into track 6, and I feel like, personally, the rest of this album is a little bit more of a mixed bag for me. As we kind of move from here towards the end, the deluxe tracks give it a little bit of extra life towards the end if you listen to like the whole thing.
Right.
But yeah, from here on out, I'm kind of on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
With this record, and we shift into The Day That I Found God, which on the surface is a K-Love anthem. But of course it's Switchfoot, so there's a little bit more going on there.
Does a lot of things that a lot of Christian songs wouldn't do and couldn't do. And there's a fun note in the little blog post about the story behind this song that you may get into. But yeah.
You got this one. You can share it.
So one thing that I think is really interesting. So 2 things that I'm going to throw out first before I get into that part. Looking at the liner notes, so far this is the earliest appearance I can find of Boaz Roberts on a Switchfoot song.
Really?
Boaz Roberts with a guitar credit on this track, and this track only from the album. But yeah, so shout out to Boaz.
He was 11 years old when this song came.
He was,
He was a
man.
prodigy.
Which is the funny thing is that's actually true about Boaz. He was like a musical prodigy. But yeah, yeah. So shout out to Boaz. Also, Robert Randolph. I don't know if you guys remember him. Did you ever rock with Robert Randolph and the Family Band at all?
Ooh. Now that you say that, that might have
Yeah, yeah, dude. That their song "I Need More Love" like is a core memory for me. So he has, I think, some keys credited on this song. But as John writes in the blog post, I'll kind of paraphrase it. In the final part of this song, after the last chorus, there is a very like dark and moody chord played that is referred to as the Devil's Triad. And legend has it that there was a period, I think, around the Dark Ages, that this chord was actually banned from being played by the Catholic Church. They mention in that blog post, they actually later kind of republished it with an editor's note that has never been confirmed historically, that it was just, again, as legend has it, it was alleged that the Catholic Church banned it. But it still is a fun thing that, this chord that historically has been known to be so just like dark and the original emo chord, I guess. They named it the Devil's Triad, and then Switchfoot was like, let's put it in the song that's about God. That's such a Switchfoot thing to do.
Yeah.
I will say this song it's very doubting. I mean, like obviously there is a resolution in the song, but it's very in line with the doubts on the title track from Vice Versa. I mean, even saying the same line, like, "Where is God out in the darkness?"
Yeah.
So I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to show like somebody who's familiar with Switchfoot, hey, this is the track list of the album. What do you think the song "The Day That I Found God" sounds like? You
Probably
would
Live
get
It
it.
Well.
You would get.
You'd think it was Live It Well, yeah.
You would think
Yeah.
it's Live It Well, right? Or It's a Beautiful Life, or those kinds of
Mhm.
songs that have a little bit more radio appeal. But this song, like you're mentioning, Chase, does have a different vibe altogether. I mean, even um, in that blog post, John writes, the music is meant to be uncomfortable and disturbing, and which is such a fascinating clash with the title of the song being like The Day That I Found God, and you think it's going to be this song that sounds different than it actually does. Um, but yeah, so Chase, I assume you're a real big fan of this one.
I used to be. It was a huge one for me when the album came out. It didn't age as well for me, but on kind of my revisit of it, I was like, man, this song, it really is good. I kind of regained an appreciation for it. I stand by my original thought. That this song is good, and Jared, I like what you mentioned that it kind of goes in a direction you don't expect it to. It leans into those doubt, but maybe even more than a normal Switchfoot song, it does kind of have a resolution. Because where he says, where is God out in the darkness? The voices in my head ain't talking honest, but that ain't you. And so, that was something that stood out to me then and stands out to me now, 10 years later. So, not a super high ranking Switchfoot song for me, I'll admit, but definitely have enjoyed revisiting it, I guess.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
gonna make
you're.
the prediction that yes, I agree, Zach, that there is sort of a roller coaster after House Burns Down, but I would say that all the elements are in here. That when we go through each of these songs, we're gonna every time be like, oh, actually, yeah, that one was pretty good too. I think
Yeah.
the
Totally.
track order is just whack.
Yeah, no, totally.
Fair.
And even like the way that Chase, you just talked about this song, The Day That I Found God. I think like um, number one is just a testament to how big of a fan you are of this band in particular, and I think some people are going to maybe
Sorry.
rediscover this song in a different way. And I think there's going to be a lot of that as we continue to kind of churn through these songs. And so, "Shake This Feeling" is the next tune. I think of all of the song stories I read, this is the shortest, if not the shortest. It's up there. Not a whole lot to say about this song, does John? Um, and I don't have a ton to say about it either, TBH. But if either of you guys do, feel free. Talk about Shake This Feeling.
My one thought that I wrote down is Switchfoot has more marital trouble songs than they have love songs,
Mm,
which is very honest.
Yeah.
yep, that's real.
All right, track 8. No,
Track
I'm just
8.
kidding.
It's so like unoffensive. It's not. It I wouldn't fight to keep it, but I also will keep it on if it comes on in the car.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
I do
Uh, th-
think the line toward the end where he says, "Everyone wants to rock and roll, but a couple of years and it takes a toll."
Yeah.
That's so raw, and it like almost like it makes me feel bad to love seeing them live so much because I'm like, leave your families and come on tour. But I'm like, oh wait, yeah, that's right. That's hard on your families, isn't it?
that it is. Um, it's maybe Switchfoot's uh, Days Lie Dormant, 21 Pilots. 21 Pilots
Oh,
song
okay,
about
yeah,
not
yeah,
wanting.
yeah. I knew they'd get mentioned at some point.
I can't help it. Can't help it.
In the content sense, or in the fact that it's a song that I'm like, yeah, it's all right.
No, Days Lie Dormant, sick. I like
Yeah,
I
dude,
like
do not disrespect Days Lie Dormant.
that song. Awesome.
What is it? What does it come out of?
Say it again.
What is the song before Days Lies?
One way.
Yeah, my wife did not like. She was like, that didn't work. Like she, the sarcastic, skeptical Josh is how she actually felt. She was
Well,
like,
the
I don't think
reason
they go
it
together
doesn't
well.
quite land is the vibe change from Cottonwood to One Way is way different is
No, I'll
a
hate on that one. I'm not afraid of
Cottonwood?
like y'all. I don't think it's a good song.
For real?
Yeah, it's
Okay, we might have to do a
if
Breach
I'm
pod later.
yeah, and that one I do have the vinyl for, so I can show
Me
up
too.
to that one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a take. I wouldn't say it's like in my like top 5 on the record, but I do love
Well,
that
because
song.
Breach is kind of the like the interrobang of 21 Pilots, right? Like
In a lot of ways. Yeah, it's
some
like
borrowed ideas.
songs that they like started, never finished. Yeah, like a lot of that.
And I feel like Cottonwood is so self-titled, and that's my least favorite 21 Pilots album. So
It is mine as well. I do feel like Cottonwood has a little bit more that I appreciate about it. In 2026, I guess, than I would
I
have
just
back in
love.
the
I
day.
mean, Breach is such a good album. So
It's
like,
one of my favorites.
there has to be a worse song on the album, and for
That's
me, it's
fair.
that song.
It's probably Intentions for me, even though it's like got the cool church vibe.
No.
I just I just don't ever put on.
No.
That's the only reason.
Do you put on Truce?
No.
Me neither. If I'm gonna like, I'll probably do the same thing with both those albums. Like, I'll get to Tally or I'll get to Trees, and I'll be like, cool, I'm done.
Tally's sick too.
Yeah.
Okay. Shifting gears back to Switchfoot. We'll come back to 21 Pilots probably later. We've got Bowl in a China Shop as the next song. Kind of a standout in the back half, I think, sonically, like just cool guitar riff kind of opening it. This was also, I think, has a very 1968 Beatles guitar riff, and among
Yes.
other things, which is just really fun. And this is a great playlist song. Like this song a lot. Um, Probably one of my favorites on the album, just from like a re-listenability standpoint. Um, but yeah,
I always like
what do
this
y'all
one.
think of Bowl in a China Shop?
So let me interrupt
Go
to
ahead.
drop some bad news. Bad news. My phone's about to die.
Classic.
Now the good news is I can plug it in.
It's becoming
But the
a
bad
category.
news, it is, yeah, when will Chase's phone die? The bad news is when I unplug my headphones to plug in my charger, um, it's going to interrupt our audio. So just giving a warning there. So
So what?
look at, I guess, our timestamp of where we're
Okay,
at. and-
I've got it clocked.
okay. I don't want a repeat of Interrobang where you have to re-upload and, charge me a hefty fee for all my trouble.
Yeah,
All
all
right,
good.
so
Do what you gotta do.
let's see. Okay, so unplugging headphones.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm charging. Can you hear me?
I can a little bit worse than I could before, but
Mm.
I can hear you.
Classic. One of the classic blunders.
So
Okay.
Yeah, I like that overdrive pedal you put on your phone. That's sick.
Yeah, man, it's Boss. It's Boss OSD. Yeah, weird. Okay, so now that I've got that out of the way, let me hit y'all with another take.
Now it
This
sounds better. Now your audio sounds okay again.
okay, well, good.
Never mind.
Bypass the distortion. I can keep hitting it on and off. Let me hit you with this. Wool in a China Shop is maybe my least favorite Switchfoot song.
Get out of here, dog.
Now you say on ever like
Man, so that's the hard part. It didn't always feel that way to me. I used to rock with it really hard. There's another song mentioned earlier. Sounds very different, the final version, but a song we made together called "Ride the Storm" was
mm-hmm.
was a ripoff of "Bull in a China Shop." So I used to rock with it. The what I wrote down in my notes is I really enjoyed this song the first 15 times I heard it live. But this is one song that keeps getting put on the set list that I just think needs to be retired, and they won't. And so it's the only time I've ever heard a Switchfoot song live that I'm like, can this one be just over already? And that doesn't feel like a Chase thing to say, but it's just how I feel. Every time they play this song in the past few years, I'm like, why? There are so many other songs you could play that would be better in this slot. So that's my take. It's aged poorly for me.
Interesting.
It could be worse. It could be a Lovely the Band remix.
That's true. That is true. So I'm glad we didn't get that version.
There's a song on. Oh, hey, nice.
Taken from Switchfoot's official website, by the way.
Maybe I'm just mad that I didn't get that shirt. I guess I should have bought it, and maybe I'd like the song more. But I
What
was
genre
drunk
do you
at the
call
time.
this? Like, I know you said the '60s, but like to me, this feels kind of in the same vein as like Ride or Die.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I think the opening riff to me sounds like something off of like the White Album,
yeah,
from the Beatles, um, and that's probably where I place it. But it does have a little bit of that Ride or Die feel to it. Um, I think the riff is just a little bit more interesting than what Ride or Die has going on.
for sure.
Um,
See, I would put Ride or Die above this song easily.
Ride or Die is that Beck song. Na 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 na.
It
There's a lot
definitely
of Beck
does sound.
on.
It definitely a lot of Beck influence on that, but
Yeah.
I rock with that one.
some Lord too. No, I'm
It's from Lord for sure. A little bit of Toby Mac.
kidding. A little bit of Toby Mac.
Some gumbo.
Yeah, some Jack Johnson in there. A little bit of Prince as well. Uh,
This I think
This is a
Bull in a
good time to
China
talk
Shop is
about.
definitely their Purple Rain.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So all Switchfoot merch I think that I've ever owned has, besides I have a beautiful Let Down shirt that's a long line shirt, which means that I can get as fat as I want to and it'll still fit.
Nice.
But all roads lead to Switchfoot merch going from me to Chase.
And
I
then
had
I sell
from
it to
Chase to who?
somebody on
Depop
Facebook.
probably or Facebook. Yeah, I had a Hope is the Anthem shirt that I got on that tour that went to Chase. I had a Melody League shirt that I think Chase has now.
I still have it. I don't remember the Hope is the Anthem shirt. Are you sure that went to me?
Positive.
Huh. Well, I lost that one in
I was
my mini
I was
move
living in a
Memphis.
lie that I could wear a medium shirt. I don't even know if I've ever worn a medium shirt.
I probably grew out of that one fast then, so but I still have the Melody League shirt.
And then did I give you that Where I Belong baseball tee? Because if not, who has it? And it was so cool.
Uh maybe the one that has the lyrics written out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I still have that, but it doesn't fit me. So I
Mm.
cut the like panel out from the front with the lyrics on it and sewed it onto the back of a jacket.
That's sick.
That's probably the
Very,
coolest
very
possible thing you could have said.
fanboy, but it
What
looks
ab-
cool.
What
I'm not gonna
about
lie,
that
it looks cool.
shirt that had the also Where I Belong lyric? The I'm not sentimental. The Skin and Bones is a rental.
Yeah.
Do you know what shirt I'm talking about? It was like a tan.
Yeah, it had like a skull drawing on it.
Yeah. Did that go
Yeah.
to you?
I know, I never had that one. My brother has it. You
Uh,
may have given it to him.
Well, not to get too terrible, but at the same time where Chase was dating a girl that he was spending too much money on in 2016, I too was doing that. And she did end up with some of my good band shirts, and I'll never
Me
see
too,
those again.
actually, now that you said that.
But I think she got it. So rip. But anyways, yeah.
They actually reprinted whatever they revived that shirt. It's on their store right now if you want it.
The China
Yeah.
Shop one or the Where I Belong?
The Where I Belong one with the skull drawing.
I do want that.
It's a good shirt.
I'll
Anyways,
give you a link.
moral of the story is, if I get a Switchfoot shirt, Chase will get it in 6 months.
All right, well, go buy a couple of shirts. I need more.
Well, I can tell you,
I
I don't
need more
think I'm
6
going
months from now.
to adopt Chase's take on this song in 6 months, though. To tie it back to Bull in the China Shop.
Yeah,
There's
hard disagree.
hard disagree that this is their worst song. I don't know.
Hopefully, I can
lot of
come
stuff
back
like
around
that.
to it. I don't know, but right now it's just a struggle for me.
I don't even know what my least favorite Switchfoot song would be, but I don't think this is close.
That could be a podcast in itself.
That could be. we've talked about doing a draft or a ranking or something of the sorts. But the piece of tour merch that I had from the Looking America tour from Switchfoot is a shirt that I don't know that I'm ashamed to have owned because it was a cool shirt, but it was a Live It Well shirt, which is the next song on the album. And we've kind of poked fun at Live It Well already in the sense of it being the Christian radio song. This was a hit, as the kids say, when it came out, as far as the radio play. And um, obviously, I Won't Let You Go with Lauren Daigle has kind of surpassed that. But at the time, this was kind of the most popular song on the record. And how do we feel about it 10 years later?
I mentioned that I am with Chick-fil-A, and Chick-fil-A has its own radio station. Just like, it's a playlist of like probably 70 songs that they rotate. And Switchfoot has like 6 songs, and most of them are off native tongue. But Live It Well's on there. And if you've ever been into a Chick-fil-A, up until like 5 years ago, we only played instrumentals. And they were all Christian song instrumentals. And then after that 5 year, like, in the past 5 years, they'll sprinkle in like every third song is still a Christian instrumental, but they'll also put in like an acoustic version of Apple by Charlie XCX. So
Of course.
there's no standards anymore. I mean, that rips, but there's no standards is a side thought. Anyways,
Unrelated.
this song sounds like a Christian instrumental. Like, remove the
Yeah.
lyrics and it sounds like
Yeah.
there's an ad on YouTube sometimes, or it's not an ad, it's like a little which ads have you seen in the past 6 months? It's like da na na da na na.
Yes. Yeah.
And it sounds like that.
Dang.
I thought
Okay.
you were gonna say it sounds a lot like Apple by Charlie XCX.
Yeah. This one's a
Great
little bit
song.
more worldly, but
Yeah.
So this to me is I mean, it's a campfire song. Which again, I mean, I guess that's a kind of a youth group staple, bonfire nights. This is very much a bonfire song. But I'm kind of into that, It's got to makes you want to pull out your chacos, I guess. But yeah, so I don't know how I would rank this song, but I I guess I'm on the flip side of the last song where we were at, because I still fool with this song, This one still hits for me.
When's the last time you listened to it?
Well, I listened to the whole album a few
Well,
times through this
sure.
past week. Before that,
We agreed to do the podcast.
listen to it. I mean, it's probably been a few years, but it's such an easy song to play. Like I said, it's a campfire song, so I play it on my guitar probably a couple times a year. So I played it a couple weeks ago just in my house, just because it's the same 4 chords all the way through and easy. So it's kind of a fire pit jam for me.
Nice.
yeah.
I was looking for the Live It Well T-shirt I had. Let's see if it'll pull up here. Here it is.
My
is the
mom
Live It
had
Well
that
shirt.
same shirt.
Yeah, it's a great shirt. Big fan of this shirt.
She might still have it.
I wore it a lot my senior year of high school. It was a big thing.
It's a good shirt.
But I doubt you can buy it anymore. But
By the way, just so we're aware, wasn't an insult. I love my mom.
hey, no,
Your
I
mom
did
has
not
that
take
shirt.
it that way.
Your mom? No, your mom.
Today's my
I did
mom's
not take it that
birthday.
way.
Today?
Oh, happy
Well,
birthday, Jerry!
If you're listening to the podcast, it's not her birthday anymore,
Oh.
unless you listen to it next year.
Well, actually, so I'm late because it is past midnight in my time zone. So I'm sorry to your
Same.
mom on it's her birthday.
Yeah, you missed it.
What a shame.
Zach, I don't guess you know this, Zach, but Jared's parents are kind of like more of my parents than my parents are to me.
Right. Oh yeah, I don't think.
So my mom is very much my mom, but my dad, there's kind of a void there. So Jared's mom is actually my dad.
I love that.
His dad is also my dad, but
I
you
feel
know.
that way about Chase's parents as well. In my mind, Chase's dad is my mom.
Love
Things are complicated.
it. Yeah.
No, but
That's
for real, I
Alabama for
love
you, man.
Mr. Jerry and Miss Christie. They probably won't listen to this because they have more important things to do. But I just wanted to shout them out. They really are fantastic human beings.
My mom will probably listen to this, so nobody
Mine too.
cuss.
Mine too.
We can say heck.
We can.
I sent my mom
I'll
the
make it.
link
I'll
to
make it
every
explicit
episode so
just to
far,
scare.
and she will not listen.
Y'all are saying about their merch, dude. I really don't need to spend any money right now, but there's some good stuff on their site, man.
Yes, there's
I
some good
really
stuff
want
at the moment.
the amp tee. I don't know
Yeah,
if I'm
that's
gonna
sick.
get that at the
It's a good
DC
one.
show when I
It's
go.
a good one.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Speaking of an artist whose merch I have too much of and don't know what to do with, the next song features an artist like that for me, which is Lecrae on "Looking for America." I have a lot of Lecrae merch lying around somewhere, that I don't know what to do with because it doesn't fit me anymore.
I lost all of my Christian Rap Day clothes. I don't know if I gave it to the thrift store or what, but I can't find any of it.
I went
Yeah.
on a Christian Rap's shopping spree going into my junior year of high school, where I went to Reach Records and just bought like every shirt I can find.
Yeah.
I basically spent all the money I had saved like working that summer.
Give it
Bought
all.
like every shirt I could
The only
possibly find.
year cringier than 2016 was 2013,
Yeah.
or maybe that was 2012. But like it's
It's
the
up
same
there.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would rock a Gravity suit.
Yeah.
It was a Gravity hoodie with a Gravity T-shirt and Gravity the 6-inch wristband or not 6 inches. What are
Oh
those?
yeah, dude.
And then when I got out of school, I would put on the Gravity hat too, but you couldn't wear a hat at school.
Couldn't wear it at school.
Crazy, man. Yeah, man.
I had
The whole Gravity
the
set.
KB Forgiven shirt.
Oh,
The
a
red
classic.
with the cross. That's like all timer Christian rap shirt.
Had the bracelet of that. I don't think I had the shirt, but I had the bracelet.
Yeah, there was some other. I'm trying to remember. The Bear Fruit shirt from back in the day. Remember that? That was
That
part
was
of
the
the.
I missed. I didn't get
It's
one,
great
but
merch.
yeah.
Great merch.
Bear fruit and then straight terrible.
Yeah. Oh, the social club merch. Don't get me started, dog.
Well, you had a lot of the Grateful stuff, Chase.
I had some Grateful stuff too.
Yeah, that's right.
never
I
bought
remember
any.
the summer before my senior year, I did a Grateful apparel like shopping spree. Actually, one of those shirts survived, and my wife was wearing it yesterday. Doesn't fit me, but fits my wife. So, but it was like her backup shirt she had to change into after our baby pooped on her. So, but there's still a Grateful shirt from that very shopping spree in this household.
That's amazing.
But let me just throw out and mention that Lecrae on the album and Relient K on the tour, bro. If you were a youth group kid,
Oh my gosh.
how did you? All these people who like deconstructed in 2020, how did you do that after the Looking for a Man? That was a joke. And it was kind of an insensitive joke, and I'm sorry. But like, bro, this was like peak youth group upbringing of a year.
Yeah, if you could have got VeggieTales involved with this album rollout somehow, that would have been everything you needed.
Well, Phil Vischer is actually the reason I didn't deconstruct.
That's valid. Oh, there he is.
There I am.
Yeah, man.
Grateful merch. That's a Grateful hat too.
That's sick. That's sick.
This was 2014.
Yeah, so
Since my camera is not currently working, Zach, if you have a picture of me, you could just throw up, so I feel present.
Sure. Can do that.
Just go screenshot something.
Hold on, I got
This tells you how interesting I find the song. The fact that we haven't really talked about it very much.
Yeah,
actually,
we kind of really fell off.
Yeah,
I
what
do
are we
think
doing
there's
here again?
some interesting
Yeah.
stuff going on in the.
Let me while you're doing that, let me I
You
guess
can talk
jump
about
back
the song.
onto the song. I think it is cool that it as Switchfoot always has like a Christian radio song on every album. They kind of always have something of a protest rock song. And I thought this was a cool take on that. I like what you mentioned about kind of the Dr. Dre approach. I had never heard that. Like I hadn't heard that soundbite from them before. But I think that this song, like, it starts out it sounds like "Lose Yourself" by Eminem, with just, like, the palm muted little
Oh
guitar
yeah.
chop. And so, like, my thought process is they're like, "Oh, let's make a rap song. Uh, gotta sound like "Lose Yourself," right? That's the only one I know." Which is probably a joke. Oh, shoot. Oh, hey, look at that. Look at that.
How
Wow.
about that? I was able to tie it in too.
That's that is fitting, fitting.
I
For
sent
the
you
for the
another option. No.
non-YouTube listeners, that is a picture of me at age 19 looking 13. And that's being generous. And I'm holding up a cardboard panel that says, "The day that I found God is where the light shines through." Because I couldn't just settle with one Switchfoot reference on the cardboard box. I had to write two.
Of course not.
But what my one thing that I will say in all seriousness about "Looking for America," the song featuring Lecrae, I really appreciate the fact that Lecrae is kind of like woven throughout the entire song in small ways. Because
Yes, I love that.
a lot of times when there's a rap feature, it's like this is a song and it's a song and it's a song, and then we just threw in this rap feature that sounds nothing like the rest of the song, and it doesn't fit, but we wanted it because it would sell well. I like that you can tell this song was intentionally made like with Lecrae, or with like that, approach in mind. It wasn't just like a throwaway tack on, like let's attach Lecrae last minute. Like this was like a thorough process, and I appreciate that. But what I don't appreciate is all these old pictures of you boy
Ah,
with a 20-foot wide fedora brim.
let me look at
Man,
how Lecrae was moving in 2016. Let me look.
I think Lecrae rocked the wide brim fedora at some point. I know Ruslan did.
It
That was
got
back
everybody,
when,
man.
yeah, I don't know.
The
So,
Ruslan's fedora days. That was crazy.
the photo the photo shoots with the white girls with the big hats.
Yeah.
Was that before or after this, or is that from this?
uh, it was all inspired by John Foreman, actually. White girls love John Foreman. That
Can
was.
confirm. White girls love John Foreman.
All right, here
I
we
know I
go.
do.
Here we go. I've got a list here. We we've got the "This Is Living" feature with Hillsong Young and Free, 2015. We have the hiding Tori Kelly feature in 2018. It's on a song called "Masterpiece" with her. She was also on a song with him, circa 2018.
Mhm.
We've got "Where the Light Shines Through," 2016. We've got 2015 the um a KB feature on "Tomorrow We Live," throwback album there.
He
We've
said, "I ain't
got
trying to build CHH." That was the Mexican restaurant I was in. Was shook when they heard that line for the first time.
boy, yeah, Lecrae was he was everywhere in 2016. That was quite the time.
His
Um,
yeah, his PR person was busy.
I mean, that was probably like when I think about Christian hip hop that year, right around there was probably the best it ever was. Pretty close to it.
See, that's
Uh,
when I fell off CHH, honestly.
I mean, the tipping point is like right about here.
Yeah,
Okay.
But it's
That sounds about right. Like it kind of hit a peak and then I just jumped ship for
I'd say
whatever
Church
reason.
Push 3 was my last
yep,
present Lecrae
Yeah.
project.
Yeah, I think so. Same.
yeah, because
It's like
2015 you had like Andy's like Uncomfortable record, which was really big for that time. It was a sophomore record.
Yeah.
The John Gibbs album that summer 2015 was a
Oh
big
god.
deal.
Oh, okay. I
Uh,
think yep, you're right because I think that was the last album I rocked hard with, and that was just kind of a hard one for anyone to follow up in CHH. That honestly, John Gibbs may have done so good. We're talking about Soul Rebel.
yeah,
Yeah.
He just ruined CHH for everyone else.
He completed CHH. He
He
finished it.
completed it. Yeah,
completed the circle. Yeah.
that is a solid album.
Yes, it is. And yeah, so 2016 kind of where Christian hip hop kind of, I think, yeah, reaches its kind of last, and it's kind of come back in some ways with Indie Tribe in a different kind of way. Um, but yeah, so the Lecrae feature on this song, really love what you pointed out, Chase, about the song not being just conventional. There's a rapper on this song, but notably, it is like one of their only features that they have. I think kind of goes to show one, not just that they were looking for a rapper on a song, but just the respect that they have for Lecrae as a person, as an artist, and also like vice versa there too, vice versa. Um, yeah, it just kind of goes to show the kind of the relationship they had back then, and maybe it still do. I don't know, but we don't see a ton of features very often, so it's cool when we do and interesting always. I mean, the other one we just covered on Native Tongue was with a member of like an electronic band and has some EDM stuff. So it's always interesting when there's a feature on a Switchfoot song. You don't know what's gonna happen, which is
Are
fun.
those the
So
only two
I Chase,
Other
what
than
did we
like,
say?
canon songs, not
yeah,
remixes?
yeah, not counting remixes, I think those are the only two, at least that are included on an album that
Okay.
Switchfoot has features.
Yep. And
Mm.
then we got two more songs on the record officially. We've got Healer of Souls and Hope is the Anthem. Healer of Souls, I think maybe kind of a forgotten one overall, maybe for me, just in sandwiched between the Lecrae feature and the song that got the words on the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm.
and so I don't have a ton to say about Healer of Souls.
This one feels very sporty to me. Like this one, we mentioned how Float gets a lot, like got a lot of play on ESPN. Healer of
Yeah.
Souls kind of feels like the marching band student sections like stadium chant song.
Yeah, for like
Yeah.
the homeschool co-op baseball games.
Right, yeah.
Me and my
I had
buddy were
this on
talking
my
about.
FCA camp playlist last year.
Yeah, there you go.
So there's some Switchfoot riffs that are very Home Depot core.
Oh, I like that.
Fourth 150 commercial, and I think this was on the playlist, along with the original would also be on that playlist.
That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. But yeah, no, a good one. Literally, one time I was at a Switchfoot show. I think it was the sound check before the actual show. So it was like VIP crowd only. And they were like, "What songs do y'all want to hear?" And some girl said, "Healer of Souls." And he said, "Love it, let's do it." And then she said, "Wait, no, that's not what I meant. Don't." But it was too late. He had already started. And I just remember laughing really hard because it was like, why'd you say it if you didn't want him to play it?
Yeah, for real.
And then why'd you backtrack out loud? It's just
um,
offensive.
I do like the phaser on the vocals. I guess it's the bridge towards
Yeah.
the. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Which leaves us with Hope is the Anthem, the final song on the record. Again, the one that got the script on the guitar for the tour. And I think his Hope is the Anthem, maybe as like just a phrase for Switchfoot, I feel like has resonated past this
Yeah.
album.
Yeah. For
Even if
sure.
it's not a song that like I revisit a ton,
Yeah.
I do think of it fondly because of that.
Mm.
And I can picture those words written across the guitar and like the whole thing. And I think it's pretty powerful, very Switchfoot core, thematically
Yeah,
in that way.
very where I
Uh,
belong
yeah,
adjacent. I
yes,
think
very much
I
so.
think it could be stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe with a different performance. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I think the words are there for sure.
Yeah. Again, I just like what you guys both just said. I think just the title of this song as a catchphrase has so much weight within Switchfoot's core. Which something I forgot to mention with "Live It Well," kind of the same thing. The song itself maybe is not as strong as the quote that can come from it. "Life is short, live it well."
Yeah.
Which Switchfoot, kind of funny tidbit about them. That's like a catchphrase they used as a band for years before the song ever existed.
Mm.
There are videos and things and interviews and stuff where they're talking years before this album was even in the works, where they would say, our catchphrase as a band is "Life is short, live it well." So I think it's kind of cool. I feel like "Hope is the Anthem" is kind of maybe them maybe giving words to what they've always felt their meaning behind music was, and kind of found a way finally how to define it, maybe. Um, and that's why I think even though the song really didn't get a whole lot of acknowledgement from the band, like they never played it live in full, to my knowledge. But just like you said, the concept of it, just the line itself, "Hope is the anthem," like that's like you said, very Switchfoot core.
That it is, and it concludes the album. I guess the album as it was released on July 8th. But there are 3 bonus tracks. We're not going to go through them individually necessarily, for time's sake. But I will just say, I think "When Was the Last Time" is a pretty awesome song that I don't love the mix of necessarily. I think the way
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
the verses are mixed and thing, it's not my favorite. But I think the chorus, like, it's catchy as all get out. It's the vibe of the instrumental, super fun. But I don't love the way that it's mixed. But I do
It's there.
love that song in general.
I remember when it came out, NF tweeted that line from the chorus, "When was the last time you tried something for the first time?" But he did not credit Switchfoot with it. Um,
That
and
sounds about right.
a lot of people were like, "Oh, bro, that's so wise and profound." I was like, "Yeah, it is. He didn't think of it."
Chase
Um,
from a bot account on Twitter just
yeah,
spamming
it's like,
NF.
you know what? Maybe honestly, now that I think about it, I think that may have been what ruined Christian rap for me was when NF came out. I mean,
There's an NF in
normally,
every generation. It's Force Frank right now, but he's still NF.
Nah, Forrest Frank is if NF like smiled.
yeah, they're
The Inside Out of
Yeah, putting a team together.
yeah, they're alter egos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, yeah, no, I think the bonus tracks are fun. Light and Heavy um was like, again, don't love the mix on it. Feels like a very unfinished song.
Oh, I love
Um
Light and Heavy. It feels so dark too. Um, it feels very Terabang to me actually. Like it would
yeah,
feel
that
at home
tracks.
with "I Need You to Be Wrong."
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
that tracks. Um it
What was
was
the other one? The other bonus track?
begin forever.
Yeah, I can't even hear it in my head.
Um it's never too late to try. It's never too late to finally find a way to make it right. It's
What
never too
soundtrack is
late to begin forever. Honestly, thematically, fits with
that?
forever now.
I think "When Was the Last Time" feels pretty Fading West to me.
Yeah,
It
that
does.
sounds right.
It's very much.
Probably could have been a scrapped Fading West song, honestly.
If only there was an NF feature on it though. Crazy.
Get out. Oh, speaking of forever now, one other thing I forgot to mention about Hope is the Anthem. That is the only song on this record exclusively written by John Foreman.
How
Um,
about it?
so that's
J4.
J4 only, which really puts in perspective for me how looking at all the album credits as we've been revisiting them, it's not often that John Foreman is credited with writing a song on his own, but on Forever Now, a lot of the songs are just John Foreman, which is kind of crazy.
That is. I mean, that kind of tracks with how
With the Two
some of the
Twins song
songs.
for sure.
Yeah, how some of the songs do have a little bit of a. Was this a John Solo song before this was a Switchfoot song?
Yeah, yeah,
Kind of a feel. Especially with like the last 3 songs on that
Mm.
record, which is yeah.
yeah.
Uh, and that is the 15 songs of Where the Light Shines Through in total. Thank you so much for listening. We're at 2 hours and 4 minutes as we're recording this. So the most talk about where the light shines through you can find on the internet, if I had
That's
to,
right.
if I had to guess. And yeah, thanks for tuning in thus far. This also marks the 10-year anniversary of another album we like a lot. And we might, I don't know where I'm going with this, if we want to do it now or later, but I'm going to include it here to maybe tease something that's coming, or we'll talk about it now and I'll edit this out later and it'll be great. But Air for Free came out 10 years ago, almost to the day,
Right.
from Relient
Right.
K, another one of my favorite bands, our favorite bands. In this picture, I am wearing the Reliant K
Oh, I
OHIO
missed
shirt
that hat, dude.
and the
I had
hat.
that hat,
It's a
Mm.
great hat.
and I had that shirt. I
Special.
gave it to my uncle because I got too fat for it. There's a running theme here.
So very special time, very special album, tour. We kind of mentioned the tour stuff already. But these two bands are linked in a lot of different ways. Obviously, like pretty close friends, and do a lot of things together. There was a night on the tour where Switchfoot ended up playing like a bunch of Reliant K songs because um those guys were going through something. I can't remember exactly what it was then. Um, but that was like a really cool moment on the tour. It was like one of those things where like I don't know if I would have loved to be at that show because I would have missed like actual Reliant K performing,
Yeah.
but
But
it's
I
cool
want
to like
Switchfoot
hear
to
about.
do that another time.
Yeah. And this album I think is if they never make another one, I think they went out on a really cool note. Um, and I think this album is kind of a masterpiece in its
Yeah.
own.
I do think it's
Such-
very sad that this is the last LP we've gotten from Relient K. I don't think I expected it to be the last one, and hopefully still yet. Maybe something will happen. But now we're sitting at 10 years. This is the last full length release we've gotten from them. And yeah, I agree. Um, I think it's a masterpiece. I don't think it, obviously it doesn't feel like what Reliant K always sounded like, but I think in a way it was kind of like um um it was almost like a magnum opus,
Yeah,
if I said that right with my country accent. But it's like Reliant K realizing like what they were kind of always aiming to be and growing up a little bit past the youthful sound that they obviously were characterized by, which we know and love from many of their early releases. But yeah, it feels very grown up. It feels very introspective as well. Dude, solid record. Love Air for Free.
I don't know how to compare them, but I do feel sort of the same way that I feel about Forever Now towards Air for Free. Um, it's like the band. It's not gonna be 40 years from now. People won't say, "Oh, that's the quintessential Reliant K Switchfoot album." But for a longtime fan, it was like, "Yep, this is checking all the boxes that I've been waiting on."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I found a picture that I took with a potato. Apparently, I just sent from me and Chase at the tour for this album, which was also the tour for Where the Light Shines Through.
Oh, I'd love to see that picture.
It's been a very picture heavy episode. All right.
Man,
Y'all should charge for the video part of the podcast.
that's right. Oh no. Yeah, so that's my brother there in between us with his tongue sticking out, wearing a bandana, and then that's me with the Justin Bieber bowl cut and the awful Toby Mac fedora. I was apparently wearing. Oh wait, is that at like a VIP?
It's
Like
giving.
lanyard? Because I was like, what
Yeah,
kind of weird necklace am I wearing?
I went Reliant K VIP. You went Switchfoot VIP.
Yeah.
I think that says a lot.
And my friend Jesse was there too. Who is like my local source for talking about Switchfoot and Reliant K.
Sick.
And I ruined Dark Horses for him the other day by telling him that it's just our God is an awesome God. He got pretty mad.
Only the nah part, you know?
Yeah, that's what he said. But
Na
You still
na
matter.
na 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 na. He reigns.
Air for Free, I'm sure you guys know this, that it has a different track listing on physical media than it does on streaming.
Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very fun way to listen to the album. Local Construction becomes the album opener on that version of the
I think
album,
that works really well.
and I think it's
What's the rest of the order?
let me grab it real quick. Final track list.
I've got it.
Should've just
I've got it
brought
right
the
here.
vinyl up.
I have the vinyl. So it's it's a double LP. So it's
Yes.
side A, B, C, and D. But just in sequence from top to bottom is Local Construction, Bummin', Marigold in the 3 spot.
Hmm.
Running, then Mrs. Hippopotamus's, Cat, Elephant Parade, Man, Air for Free, God, Prodigal, Empty House, Mountaintop, Sleepin' Flower, and then Heartache Stays at the end.
Gosh, this album is so good. Golly.
It is really good. I don't know that that's the right order I would have put it in though. Still,
No, I
like
don't think so.
It's fun to have it existing in 2 different forms, though.
It
for
is.
sure.
Yeah, it's a fun little tweak. Yeah, the most interesting one to me is like having Local Construction as track 1. Like
Yeah.
gives the very first thing you hear on the album is a very different because I would say Bummin' is probably like when people listen to this album, the song that reminds them most of how Relient K used to sound.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and so to start with that song, but I think Local Construction is a little bit more of a sneak peek into how some of the rest of this album is going to sound, where
Yeah, that's fair.
there's so many different things going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this album a lot, and I love my vinyl copy of it. Mine's like a white vinyl. It's the recent pressings in the like 2022. I think they repressed everything. And they've kept them in stock since then. Are just gorgeous. Love all of them.
So this was another one, same, obviously released at the same time. I purchased the vinyl, the original pressing, and then gave it away. Um, which was a stupid move. So the one that I have right now is the white vinyl, but the original one I had was I think the first like the first one was red and blue, like
Yep.
tie-dye, and then the second one was blue and yellow, maybe.
Yep.
So that was cool. I
can tell
wish I
you-
still had that copy.
I can tell you that it sells for an average of $64 on Discogs.
Really?
Was last sold in September of 2023.
If I didn't already own a copy, then I might go after it, but I don't need to probably. But maybe I do. Who knows?
Maybe you do. Any songs from this record that have lived with you in the last 10 years that still stick with you or
Yeah,
that you
all of it.
revisit often? All of
Yeah,
them?
dude. Mrs. Hippopotamuses is like kind of how me and my wife started dating. That song
Mm.
that song sparked a conversation. I'll just try to give the short version real quick, but we were like at a crew thing. If you guys know what crew is, Campus
Yeah.
Crusade Ministry.
Yep.
And my wife is from Ohio, and I don't remember what the conversation was, but something about Ohio. And I kind of said OH, and then she said IO, which of course it's just like the Ohio
Mhm.
State like fight song thing. Ohio people just say that, and so I was like, if she doesn't know that I'm quoting a Relient K song in my head, and then she said, I love that song. And I said, wait, what do you mean you love that song? She said, you're talking about the Relient K song, right? I said, yeah, I figured you were just talking about the Ohio chant. You listen to Relient K? She was like, yes, I love Relient K. And that is literally where it all started. And now we've been
That's
married for
cool.
5 years and have a child.
Oh,
So thanks,
that's so
Relient
special.
K.
That's so special. For me, Local Construction is kind of an all-timer song for me. Really love it. And then I would say Man has also lived a lot with me. Elephant Parade, Empty House, Mountaintop, There's a whole bunch on here that I'm like, I've listened to this in the last year, like, that, have really, like, stuck, and been a big part. And then, like, when we saw Relient K in 2022, um, getting my wife Hannah prepped for the show, it was fun to, like, live this album again through her lens because she only knew Relient K from, like, back in the day stuff. And so to see how, like, far they've come artistically and
I've
as a
been
band and
super
sonically.
diligent to try to see them as much as possible in the past 3 or 4 years that they've been popping up. Um, so the tour that you're talking about now, the Yeah tour,
Mhm.
I saw them twice, Atlanta and Nashville, and then I got to see them at a thing that happens in Birmingham called Furnace Fest. It was them, and then directly after them was Amber Lynn, which is another band that I
Nice.
love.
Yeah.
So that was an incredible barricade experience. I have a set list from it somewhere in this room, but then the most recent Reliant K show that I know of was in Nashville about this time last year, and they played, I want to say, a 22 song set. Maybe it was just 20 songs, but it was like, wow, that was awesome. My feet are really starting to hurt. Y'all go ahead and play "Be My Escape."
Yeah.
We're getting old.
But they played Local Construction, but I made note that for some reason they played it slower, like probably 10 BPM slower. Um, and you don't really notice the bump, 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 bump in the bass line until you're hearing it a little bit slower.
That's fun.
It was such a good dude. They played Curl Up and Die.
Wow.
They played Witch to Bury into Let It All Out with
Ooh.
somebody on the strings. It was so good, dude. I'm a big fan of the song God. I feel
Yeah,
like
it's a good one.
resonates really well with me where I'm at in my faith journey. Way more now than it did when I heard the song originally.
Yeah, while we're talking about it, I'm looking at the vinyl. I don't think there's a lyric insert. There is a line in that song that I don't know if I know what it actually says. So in the chorus,
Mm.
does he say, "I believe that I do believe enough," or does he say, "I believe that I don't believe enough"? Because I
Hmm.
can't tell what he's saying. Either one would make sense, but I
I
don't know
thought he
which one
just.
it is.
I definitely thought it was the pro.
I believe it. I believe. Oh yeah, I guess so. Because only in the last chorus does he throw in the "I do believe." Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So my question was a stupid one.
And he played God, or they played God at Furnace Fest as well.
That's cool.
But it was God with this little like interlude I've never heard before. I'm not sure if it was a cover or an original little thing into "I Don't Need a Soul," which is my favorite Reliant K song of all time. So
Really?
I was
I didn't know that.
floating. I think I had COVID at this concert, so I may have just been floating from that. But
How did everything taste?
I couldn't tell you.
Dang it, man. Yeah. So, um,
It was
I think they
2023. You were allowed to have COVID and stuff.
you were allowed to. Yeah, you were
Yeah.
allowed to infect people at that point.
Mhm.
Zach, they played God in Cincinnati and the Yeah tour, if I'm
They sure
correct.
did. I'm looking at the set list right
Yeah.
now.
I think they also played Prodigal.
This right before it.
Okay, because I remember he
Yeah.
described it. He said, "This is a song about when you're at church and you feel like you're the worst person there." I was like, "Oh, cool. I feel that way sometimes."
Yep. Yep. And that
Um,
came right after Flare, Candlelight, and Savannah, which is like
Aw,
right
dude,
around that.
that's a crazy
they
line.
they figured out that the people want forget. Like
Yeah, yeah,
all the
man.
Yes.
shows I went to since they've returned have been
Heavy on
forgetting.
forgetting not slow
And
down.
they also played Sahara. They also played there's another, I could have swore there was
Title
another
track,
one they played.
I think.
Yes, title track, yep.
They played part of it at the
I Don't
show
Need
I
a
was talking
Soul.
about, which
Which
I
is
don't
a
think that was a very common live song
I think I've
back
heard
in the
that
day.
song live once at a show they did in Columbus in probably 2023, maybe. which another nod to 21 Pilots. They played it in the venue where 21 Pilots shot the music video for Overcompensate.
Oh, that's cool.
I think it was
Great music video.
2023. Maybe it was 20. I don't know. But the last time I saw Relient K was actually on Switchfoot's beautiful Letdown 20th anniversary tour. In
Secretly,
Nashville
right?
at the Ryman. Yeah, they were the secret opener, which I think everyone kind of knew or at least hoped that it was going to be Relient K. So thankfully,
Hey,
it
everybody,
was.
it's Colony House.
I'm a huge Colony House fan, but obviously I'm glad it was Relient K. They got a 7-song, a meager opening set list, but I pulled it up here. They opened with Forget and Not Slow Down. Who I Am Hate To Have Been, This Week The Trend. They played God there too. Okay, I didn't
I
remember that
love
actually.
playing This Week the Trend.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's because
It's fine.
the
Yeah.
Cool Red.
lives blow up. That part that goes
Okay, it's a
Oh,
great
yeah.
song.
It's a great song. And
No,
then they played I Don't Need a Soul, Bummin', and Be My Escape. And he told a funny story about Bummin', where he said the song was inspired by he said that he would like hang out with all the homeless people in front of Trader Joe's, and then he would like get in trouble and be accused of like they said he looked more homeless than the homeless people because he wasn't wearing shoes. And so that he said, so everyone kept calling me a bum, so I wrote a song called Bummin'. And that's one of those stories that could be made up or could be very true, but it's Matt Thiessen, so who really knows?
didn't that guy just get married? Somebody just got married, right? Am I tripping on that?
Maybe.
I feel like I saw something
He
on
does
Reddit
not
come
post
through.
very much at all. He's very private these days.
In 2025, somebody posted in the Relient K Reddit that he was getting married.
Cool. Well,
12 days ago, Matt T got married.
congrats and good luck.
Congrats, Matt T.
Just to brag one more time about that legendary set I saw a year ago. They played Where Do I Go From Here?
Wow.
And it was super fast, and I've never realized how much of a punk song that is because it has the banjo in it, but like I remember it feeling so fast. I guess I'm wondering if they were even playing with a metronome. Like the timing was super weird at the show. Now that I think about it.
Oh.
Maybe not. You know what? I may have lied. The Switchfoot, the secret opening set at the Ryman may not have been the actual last time I saw them. I think the show in Columbus I was mentioning was more recent than that. Yeah, yeah. So it was in 2024. So that was the last time I saw them actually.
Well, let's hope they do shows again and
Mm-hmm.
release another album at some point. That'd be awesome. We did get Matty T's solo album in 2018, which
Oh
is
yeah,
great.
that's a good one
Great
too.
record. Love that one.
Also the little holiday EPs. They did the Halloween creepier EPer.
Yep.
And then Candy Hearts 3-track EPs, which were a lot of fun. Funny nod to that. I saw the Looking for America tour in Birmingham with Jared on Halloween, and then I saw the Looking for America tour in Knoxville with Zach on Valentine's Day. So big
Did
day.
they play Olive, or did they just play Candy Hearts?
They just played Candy Hearts, I think.
Yeah, they played all of the creepier.
Actually, no, they
EP.
didn't. They played Be in My Valentine at that show as well.
Did they? Okay, shoot. I need to go look it up.
Hold on.
Setlist FM, don't let me down.
I know. Come on.
Also, for anybody that has listened to this point, if anyone's still listening to this part of the podcast, where we're still kind of talking about what we're supposed to be talking about, but we're
Technically,
really
we're still-
just dudes, just having fun and reminiscing.
Just guys being dudes.
Just guys being dudes, because this is just too dang much fun. Let's see. Kickoff, 575, Bummin', Who I Am Hates, Who I've Been, Boomerang, Elephant Parade.
Just Candy Hearts.
They did, dude. Boomerang.
Boomerang, yeah, man.
They did do Boomerang, yeah.
Y'all set so much different than what we saw.
Yeah, the
Candy Hearts.
tour.
For some reason, I was picturing him with an acoustic guitar singing BMX
Mhm.
at the time, but maybe I'm thinking of
Maybe there was like a. Did you go VIP for them or something? Did they do like a sound check set?
No.
I remember this was they had Jake Germany on this tour on keys for the second leg.
Thanks. Yeah.
So
for the
in
second leg.
Knoxville, Jake Germany was with them. So their sound was a little bit different. That may have influenced the set list because where Jake Germany was on keys, Matt Thiessen had to spend a lot more time on guitar than piano. So that may have influenced what songs they picked a little bit differently.
But on the 2016 leg, Mark Lee Townsend was on guitar.
Yeah, he was on guitar, so that freed Matty T up to be on piano a lot more. So
Which I remember him doing the background vocals on Bummin'. So anytime I listen to Bummin' now, I
Yeah.
hear old man voice in the B vocals.
Yep.
Let's see if there's any different.
Yeah, we got a ton of air for free. Well, we got 6 songs, but we only got Forget and
Sahara.
Sahara. Yeah.
Yeah.
They played in the town I currently live in on this tour. Crazy.
What town do you currently live in?
I live just north of Baltimore, Maryland, on the
Okay.
East Coast. I guess if you didn't know where Baltimore was. But they played in a town, Bel Air, Maryland, which is like basically like right down the road for me, which is kind of crazy.
I was gonna say, if and when the Relient K show happens in Nashville again, that should be.
We're figuring it out.
We all got to meet up. Yeah.
We need the redemption from the coin cancellation.
Dude. Oh, come on.
The pod doesn't know about that.
They know a little
There's
bit.
been
I think.
mention. There's been mention.
Of the
Yeah,
great-
Jared, you've been talked about here before.
I listened to the first episode in full.
Okay. Well, you haven't been talked about that much.
Okay.
But yeah, man. So we're gonna start a branch podcast about coin, and then another one about 21 Pilots.
We can't start a podcast about coin, unfortunately.
The Lost Files.
They're canceled. So
a posthumous coin podcast.
Will they cancel your podcast if you do it about a canceled band?
I mean, we're not on the side of the members who got the band canceled, for what it's worth.
Bro, I saw them on their last tour.
Yes, eh? The first time I got to see them, actually, and I had tickets to multiple coin tours in multiple different years, and for different various reasons, all linked to COVID. They all got canceled, or I couldn't make it. So I didn't get to see them until their very last tour, and then I was like, "Oh man, definitely got to see them again." And then they died.
Yeah, probably the saddest I've ever been
They were murdered.
about a band breakup. Their latest album, I think I was the only one who like really loved it. I'm a huge fan of.
When it first came out, I didn't love it. It's fantastic though.
Yeah, no, I frick with that album hard.
Now I just cry every time.
I'm not afraid of kissing the homies goodnight anymore.
What a segue. I think that's a good segue. The 21 Pilots conversation needs to happen at some point because I think the takes across the three of us would be pretty crazy. In a fun way. But this is going to wrap up this super deluxe edition of the Dare You podcast, where the light shines through episode. You got a little bit of Jared, Chase, Zach origin story. You got some Spider-Man. You got some Switchfoot. You got some Christian hip hop in 2016. You got some 21 Pilots. You got everything you could ever ask for in one podcast episode. So thanks for hanging out with us. You can follow us on socials. On Instagram, we'll post again someday. I promise. And just keep an eye out here every other Monday, unless there's bonus episodes or something. I don't know why we would do that. We've had that idea before, but yeah, follow, subscribe, give it 5 stars, all those sorts of things. Go listen to Jared's band Audiophile on Spotify. If you're a huge fan of Prince and Queen and Jack Johnson
And Gumbo.
Toby Mac, and
Gumbo.
NF.
and NF. You'll really like what his band's up to. And yeah, anything you want to say about your band, Jared, before we sign off?
Yeah, I like being in a band, and it's only so I can, you know, try to capture the feeling from the opposite side of the barricade. But live music is incredible, and I don't know where I'd be without it.
That's awesome. Chase, any last parting words from you?
Man, I just want to see Switchfoot live again. So
Soon.
Well,
Soon for me.
Zach,
anyway.
maybe you can bully Chase into coming down to Birmingham to see Switchfoot and Colony House, who he loves.
that is true. They're popping up.
10
Just
minutes
at the
from my
Birmingham
house,
show.
just so because my parents really want to meet their granddaughter.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really sweet.
Yeah. we gonna try. We'll see where we're at that point. But this is I think this is officially like the podcast that every episode could be multiple episodes. Because
Yes.
you boys love to yap.
Yeah, we're big yappers, and it's just three dudes who haven't caught up in a while, you know? So
That's right.
it's always a good
This is
time.
just an excuse for us to talk on the phone.
It's true. It's like
I wasn't.
a
I
phone
didn't
call,
press
but
record. Oh crap!
I don't know. No, I think this is our best work, gentlemen. I think we did it. We've done podcast episodes in the past. You guys did one. We did a Marvel rankings one back in the day on a movie podcast I was
Yeah, I
doing
forgot about that.
during COVID or right around there.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. And you know, the three of us have a lot of different creative pursuits every now and again. And this is one that was really fun. So thanks for hopping on, Jared, being the first guest of the show.
Thanks for letting me be
And,
here. And I've got a
we'll see.
petition. My uncle is he wants to be in the running for being involved with the Vice Versus podcast. He has no reason to be on the podcast, but
we'll take
just
on.
wants
That's
it.
great.
he's put his name in the hat.
Well, unfortunately, the beautiful letdown guest spot is already taken. We are gonna have the Jonas Brothers on for that episode.
Nice.
If you
Yes.
haven't already. So
Is Franklin coming?
they haven't confirmed that yet, but
Okay. If
hopefully.
he's not here, then I'm out.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, Jonas Brothers on the beautiful letdown. Other than that, we're wide open. So
Cool. Let's go.
Uncle wants to be on it, that'd be great. But yeah, thanks for listening to the podcast. This has been Dare You to Podcast with Zach, Chase, and our special guest, Jared. Listen to past episodes if this is the first one you're listening to or watching or whatever, and we will catch you next time.